for a person to go through this much bad stuff doesn't seem realistic.
Okay, in that way. As in it's beyond what is possible in realistic
It's
this
like
setting.
his argument is it's beyond what would happen
Got it.
for one person to go through that much shit. But but the thing is, yeah, see, it's not like all the bad stuff would have happened to one person, but there are people where most of the bad stuff happened to one person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's there's human I see.
I mean, the game I played also was quite like unrealistic in terms of would that setting ever play out in reality, but it was quite.
This
How
stuff.
to put this? I liked the premise it put it in. So it was basically it's water's dried out. There's no water on Earth,
Okay.
and for some reason people have decided they're going to build like they're just going to keep building towers and towers to reach the clouds,
Wait, what?
and somehow they will get water from the
Wait,
clouds.
what? Who came up with this?
So that is the backstory. It was like a half an hour game. I thought it would be like at least an hour long game.
Is it free?
It was a really short game. Yeah, it's free. It's free.
Is it on Steam?
Wait. It should be on Steam. What is the name of this thing? Cloud climbing? Wait, let me check my channel.
I have to check that out.
Cloud Climber.
Yeah, I have to check this out.
I played it yesterday. It was. I was like, whoa, wait, what? And the whole thing is that is your like setting of the story, and you're the last one.
To
So
climb,
people have already died.
climbing
Yeah,
up.
so you're climbing and you're reading notes basically, and like of like what others wrote down before they died.
You see, thing is, I cannot feel bad because I think it's a pretty stupid idea to build your entire society on climbing ladders.
Yeah, I said that on stream. I was like, practically speaking, this is not what people would do if they
Now,
ran
people
out
would
of
dig
water.
underground. See, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Going up, I,
building towers to go up. No, and even in the game itself, it is stupid because while they're building up, they're getting resources, including food and water from the ground.
I
There's
think
ground
it's
crews apparently supplying them that.
no, I think it's an allegory for the Tower of Babel. Like there's I don't know, was it Book of Genesis? I forgot which book in the Bible,
Maybe.
where people get so arrogant that they think they can climb up to God.
Maybe it
So
could
it
be
might be an
something
allegory
like
for
that.
that.
But yeah, could be.
I mean, it's like
It
you know
was
they reach
so
a point
funny.
where
The visuals, I like the visuals though. It is like those um paper graphics, like
I get it.
structures look like they're made out of like
Yeah,
paper.
got,
That
understand.
was nice.
I mean, it's possible. It's like highly possible that they're just doing it. It's like it's a pretty dumb plot when you think about it, but it's a pretty good allegory. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I don't know about the game, but the developer knew what they were doing. The second paper I picked up had page number 69 written on it, and the third paper has page number 420 written on it.
Yeah, he was having fun. He or she, they were having fun.
Definitely they were having fun.
I mean, that's an Easter egg. Like, all you need is one of those, even I sometimes would overanalyze that thing. It can be like it's an allegory for the sin of lust or some shit like that. Don't English teachers basically do that? Don't high school English teachers just do that?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, everything's an allegory.
Yeah.
Think
Oh,
about
the
it.
famous, what is it? The curtain was blue, so the poet meant that there was a depressive mood.
No, the something's red. Don't English teachers
Yeah,
basically. So, something happened. So something violent is gonna happen. Like okay, so what happened was I was recommending Kakaguri to my sister, even though she doesn't want to watch it, after she heard my brief description of it. And I was
Oh, Kake. Hey, go. I agree with your sister.
I mean, the live action. I told her to watch the live action instead because it's a bit more
Oh,
tame.
okay, yeah. Of course. Live action would have loved.
No, they toned it down. I told her just watch season 1 and season 2 of live action's fine. And then we got in a discussion of why the uniform is red. And I'm like,
Oh,
maybe, just maybe, it's to,
oh,
it's to show the
gambling
sin of
color.
hedonism among the school.
Mm,
But maybe it's just the good. It looks good. You know,
mm.
maybe the author didn't really
Wait,
put it through.
what you're saying
Bright red school uniform.
what do you call it? No, no. What do you call it when like anime is made into shit. The real life version, what is it?
Live action.
Live action. My goodness,
Yeah,
that
what about live action?
what happened to my brain? I had a brain fart. No, you're saying the live action is good?
I mean, the first two seasons, it's not good. It's not as bad as I expected it to be.
Ah,
I mean,
I see.
it's not great. It's not bad. It's just that it's hilarious. I'm like, it's like so. It's like
See,
it's
right now you're speaking in the same way an IRL's friend from Northeast spoke about Bollywood movies. They're like, yeah, we watch all these action movies. I'm like, huh? You watch them? Like, yeah, with great interest we watch. I was like, what do you find so good about it? Nothing. It's comedy for us.
I mean, like it's this one was so. It's like at least they didn't get people to wear wigs, so that's a plus.
Ah, okay. That's a huge plus.
That's a huge
That's a
plus.
huge plus.
I mean, sure, like if I'm gonna get too analytical, there are lots of criticisms I could bring up, like however, them making the only male character really simpy in this one, or them ruining my favorite
Hmm.
character a bit, making her more one-dimensional.
Ah, I see.
But it's so bad that I can't even I can't have.
Making her one dimensional.
I mean, they made her one-dimensional. I mean, they're like she's just supporting character. They're exclusive for focusing on Yumiko in the live action.
Got it.
I'm like, no, why they make this one one-dimensional? But one thing I appreciate is they reduced the over-sexuality of teenagers in that one. So
Ah, yeah. See, that's what I was like. That makes sense that you would suggest your sister the live action.
yeah, because I
Live
don't know.
action usually doesn't. You can't do that in live action.
What do you mean you can't do that?
No. As in, you can't do that PG-13 in live action. I know Japan has some interesting.
I don't think Kakaguri is
ratings.
PG-13. It's 16 plus.
Ah, no. I mean the live action.
Okay, got it. But it's not supposed to be for kids.
Oi, I got a buffer. Okay. Yeah. What do you say?
I said it's a series that's not for kids.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not.
I mean, sure, kids watch it, but kids shouldn't watch it.
See, it's like that. It's like that. What is it? Oh, somebody who hasn't seen anime. That meme. Oh yeah, you're watching this cartoon, isn't it for kids?
Oh no, no, that triggers PTSD in every babe.
Yeah, like that.
Like the entire argument that it's for kids, or the implication that's for kids, kind of triggers a level of PTSD in every babe.
It's like you don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what you're talking about. Because I'm like, yeah. I'm like, she's
It's
16.
like
I'm like, she's supposed to be 16, right?
No, it's like saying adult content is, yeah, this is good section for kids.
Hey, see, I don't agree with that statement, but sadly, that's the most sex that any kid gets these
No,
days.
yeah, it's unfortunately, I mean, the statement was meant sarcastically, but it's unfortunately how it is.
Yeah, that's like the first. Isn't Khan's wife basically that?
What?
I mean,
Wait, what is this that? I think we need to classify that.
I mean, the personification of a person who got sexed through not appropriate media.
Yeah.
I mean, they should use it as a case study. They should like if any Republican in the states ever says that no, we should show that to kids, just bring her in, bring her in and be like, this is what will happen to your kids.
I'm sure. Give Gant a white coat. Just put a white coat on him. I'm sure 100% he already has a case study ready.
No, he already has a case study his wife.
Yeah. No timing issue with the subject. The subject is with you all the time.
Yeah, just reel her out. Just take her to Congress and let her speak her, to her heart's content.
You saw, well,
The wedding.
not that it's ever going to be directly seen, but congratulations to them. But you saw their their memeing of their wedding.
No, I saw the wedding. It was surprisingly really tame. I expected it to get wild.
Wait, no. I'm talking about the memeing parts. The real stuff. I mean, like
The
the
real stuff was
events
really
and
cute.
stuff. I was
The
quite
real
sure
stuff
it
was
would
cute.
be
I'm like,
cute. Yeah.
I'm like, these two can be this wholesome.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You didn't really focus on the meme part then. You saw their Twitter profile changes.
I didn't focus. I was kind of inactive for quite some
Okay,
time.
so they had the Oremo profiles.
Oh no, no! Why they do this?
You thought they were thought they were being cute.
I see this is Oremo and cute. Oremo is disturbing, especially Gant's
They
head
had
canon version.
that being Oremo, and they had one of their. I think they had their card also the same pose as there's some Oremo pose. They had the
Oh yeah,
same
the peace sign over her eyes. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
See that one. How to put it? That one you can give them a pass. Most people will not recognize that.
I mean, there's I saw a YouTube video specifically made about the memes around their wedding. So
But in a way, I kind of feel bad for them because they can't even have a wedding in peace without everyone making memes about it.
no, they themselves did it.
I get that. One place is that let's say hypothetically they just
Oh,
want
I
a
guess
peaceful
in that
wedding.
way. Maybe they're fine with it.
Nah, I mean they're fine with it. But
Who
one place is
knows?
that hypothetically in the situation they can't have privacy because now they're I can't even call them micro celebrities. They're celebrities.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, makes
I mean,
sense.
let's say
To an
Grant.
extent, their privacy is.
I mean, they both want to go out. Okay, let's say, and given that they live in Japan, they don't look Japanese. People are going to recognize them.
Yeah. But I don't think like it's gonna be the same like having fans coming up to you in Japan compared to like somewhere outside.
In Japan's worse, they're like, hey, you ruined our culture.
No. So not in that sense. I mean, you said that. I just had the image of the of the guy walking with the body pillow, and the statement on top like they'll understand me in Japan. And there's just some normal old guy going to the office staring at him.
He's like, I have to call the police.
No, but I meant in terms of as far as I've seen for like what a few years now, I believe their audience is more non-Japanese than Japanese. So in
Yeah,
that way, maybe they won't have an issue.
I mean, that's
As much of an issue. I'm sure there's obviously
no,
there'll
they
be
have an issue,
something.
alright. They have like just watch the stream on the worst fans they've had, the worst fan interaction they've had.
Oh yeah, I saw a little bit. I wasn't able to see the whole thing.
It's
I saw some of it.
but in a way, I'm like just like see, sure it's fun now, but once they have kids, it becomes tough. They can't have a privacy
Yeah.
because personally, I don't think they're the type that want their kids online. Just a
Oh
hunch.
no, I'm sure they don't want their kids.
I mean, just a hunch because see, the thing is,
No, I know for a fact they would want their kid online.
because they know that people like them
They don't want
online.
their kids seeing their stuff.
It's not just their stuff. They don't want the kids saying Uncle Monkey stuff. See, Uncle Monkey is
yeah.
kind of fine. Uncle Joe is the weird one.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that. That's on top of that, it's also unexpected.
I see. Uncle Monkey is quite progressive. He wears a dress. He shows that men can wear dresses too.
Mm.
So Uncle Monkey is one. Uncle Joe is the one that the kid should be scared of. It's a perfect American family. They even have the creepy uncle.
Oh my goodness.
Man, good. They finally tied the knot. was a big thing of
Yeah.
will they, won't they, and they finally did.
No, no, they were gonna. It was more of the past 2 years
No,
kind
they were
of screwed
gonna.
them
I
over.
mean, not will they, won't they. I mean, when will they, when won't they?
Ah, yeah, yeah,
And it's congrats to
yeah.
them.
Good for them.
Good for
Yeah.
them. Yeah, good for them. Now I think I told. I don't know if you were on the stream and I mentioned this. I'm like, I want to see how their kids are raised, like a thought experiment. I mean, like a psychological experiment on how their kids grow up.
Yeah.
Because given
See,
how,
that's also that's also a reason why they might not want the kids in the public.
I mean, the what was that,
Eh,
the
they,
round
they
table.
just
They
they
have the
just
round
start
table at
making
home.
they just start making vlogs of their kid, and there's just a there's
Recommended,
just a
recommended,
cookie, there's just there's
recommend
just a
review of the
cookie
round
peeping
table.
across it.
See, they still have the round table at home. What's the kid? What if the kid gets its hands on it?
Mm.
Be like, mommy, what are these holes? And it's gonna be like, she's gonna be like, listen, here, I have a hell of a story to tell you.
Yeah, that's ah.
Or she might be a great mother. Who knows?
Mm.
It's not my position to judge. Well, I mean, like, what happens is we live like these kids will be the first generation whose parents were what call that it's online. They made their fortune online. Like this generation maybe the first or second generation of kid. Actually, first because even the ones that were born, they're not old enough to have kids on their own. So these are the first generation of kids whose parents were YouTubers or streamers.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting thing.
Or see, the thing is, YouTubers or streamers are on the wholesome side. Then we have OnlyFans models. I mean, that's like a valid concern.
Yeah, the extremes.
I mean, you know how high school bullying is, right?
Yeah, the last I saw any content about OnlyFans was what was it? Oh yeah, the nobody wants to like date. There's quite a few OnlyFans
Okay.
ladies who are finding it troublesome to date people.
I mean, they can date people, but it's tough for them to have a what call that the ordinary life in a way. See,
Yeah, exactly. You need to find the person who fits in with your whole thing.
But the thing is, many people, I don't blame them. They don't want people like that. They want an honorary man
Yeah.
or woman in their life. Because they want.
Also, if I'm not wrong, I saw some news about like that kind of stuff has, if I'm not wrong, already started with like students accidentally seeing their teachers OnlyFans or something.
yeah, teachers fine. Okay, that's like what every high school boy wants. It's more of, let's say, you know how kids insult each other's moms, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if the insults aren't insults anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, happened that
I don't know why suddenly
a kid got I know a kid got expelled from prestigious
it's not
school
connected, but for some weird reason, I suddenly had my dad has diabetes. For some weird reason, that popped in my head.
What's I don't think
That's exactly when the joke is not a joke anymore.
Yeah.
You remember have you seen that thing where like there's really small kids as like a ice cream vendor or ice cream stall or something?
Okay.
They're going on and on about my dad is this, my dad has that.
Yeah, okay.
And then there's one girl who said, my dad has diabetes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you don't know that?
I don't know that.
Famous.
I'll check it out.
That's quite old. That's like at least half a decade old, if not older. And the other kid's like, oh shit.
Let me check. Okay, this one. There's an Asian kid, there's a white kid, then there's a kid of African heritage. That one.
I think so.
All three of them are having ice cream.
Yeah. It's the girl who says my dad has diabetes.
I'll check it out later. I mean, I seriously haven't seen this one.
It's quite old.
My daddy has a golden
flown
tooth. That
under the
one.
radar somehow. Yeah.
What? Some kid's gonna be like, my mom's an OnlyFans model. My daddy's a banker at Goldman Sachs. My daddy's an engineer at Boston Dynamics. My mom is an OnlyFans model, and daddy likes to watch. Is that gonna be the future of that meme?
Shit.
I mean, that could
Yeah,
happen.
that's gonna be an interesting. I'm sure that's really. I mean, that scenario is just a few years away, if not already there.
Yeah, it's most probably already there. It's like right now, what happens is it's more like older women and their teenage kids. I mean, the issues that pop up. It hasn't reached a point where they like it's like the mother's. It's not like supposed to be a dark past, but you get it right. Like they want to move away from it, and it still haunts them sort of situation.
Yeah.
Because see, right now the only
Some
case.
people may manage to make it work. Props to them, but then that's not how it goes for quite a lot of people.
See, it depends on the person. Like, see, most people who tend to do this happen to be young. Okay, they start off young.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't know what they're signing up for, and once they get kids, they realize, you know what, I have to bury this stuff. I mean, sure, they could make a shit ton of money, put that into, let's say, stable investments, and then no one has to care what their kids, like, their lives are secure, but what happens is, it kind of affects their kids in a way.
Yeah, it's only secure financially. There's other
socially, they're still, how I put this, I can't say that word because I'll get sued by the Indian government. I'll type it in later. There's a case that happened.
Oh, damn.
There's a case that in my state it happened where they're suing a person for using a word. I'll just send it to you. I'm not gonna say.
I saw recently there's somebody suing somebody for what?
No grandkids. No grandkids. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'll move on to that after I'll just finish the OnlyFans thing. So there was one case where there was a 40-something-year-old lady, I can't call her a girl anymore. She had an OF page, she had an OnlyFans page. Her kids were going to a prestigious school. I want those rich white people private schools.
Going to a prestigious school.
The kids were. Her kids.
Okay, gotcha.
So what happened was the school found out and they had the kids expelled.
Why? Oh, prestigious. Oh, right. Yeah, you used the word prestigious. Got it.
I mean, so what happens is people tend to assume that prestigious schools have the right to offer. I mean, private schools have the right to offer education to everyone, but that sadly isn't the truth. That's government schools. Private schools can't.
I saw news about some institution that what was it? They banned or expelled people based on like their gender identity or something like that.
Okay,
and I was like, that happens now.
I mean that.
And they did it in mass, not like one or two cases. I was like that, and that was in somewhere in the west. I was like that.
Yeah, that happened somewhere in the west, down south, in good old cowboy land. But thing is, that would have become a lawsuit because, see, you can how do I put it? You can expel
and then whoever was whoever's post I saw, they made a connection that school had how do I put this? It had strong school or whatever institution it was, it had strong religious affiliation.
Okay, so they'll use that excuse. They'll be like religious expression.
Yeah, something like that.
So that personally, I disagree with that, but I don't want to get into that entire discussion because. Jesus never said, prosecute the people who identify as women or men. Okay, Jesus didn't say that. Jesus just said, care for everyone. So that entire excuse about religious, it's like, back in the day, back in the good old day when back in the day, this is actually really back in the day, when they used to prosecute people on the basis of their skin tone. They used an excuse similar to this.
Or
not religion. They said that since this is a private institute, I have the right to serve who I want, so I do not want to serve people of color.
Oh, wait. So you do not want to?
They don't want to serve people of color. I mean, they did not want to serve people of color.
Serve, okay. I heard sell. Okay, serve. Okay.
Sell,
Like,
that's even more
if
back,
you're saying
and that's even
sell,
more
that
back, and
means
that's
that
even more worst time in human history.
No. Yeah. I was gonna say, if you're saying that by choice they're saying I don't want to sell, they're kind of helping out.
No, those are the most progressive people of that time.
Yeah.
No, I was more of they did not want to serve people of color because since they operate private, what they operate is private. It's private property. They have the right to serve who comes in, who goes out. They have the right to choose who they want to serve.
Oh, it's like, I mean, in a not correct manner, but in a weird way, it's like restaurants where if you're a rude customer, they can just refuse.
No, that's
But
actually
instead of a rude customer, they are just discriminating.
actually it's the same rule. It's just an extension of the same rule.
Okay.
The same rule which has been refined now. Because
I see.
because that's called being a dick.
Yeah, I know.
It's called being a dick. It's called being a dick. So you can't just be a dick because you want to be a dick. See, if the customer's a dick, you can kick them out, but you don't have the right to be a dick.
Yeah. See, that is what I've seen. Like recently, I've seen a lot of backlash against red color sports car brand.
Nah, the thing is, this entire gender
terms of
discrimination. I mean,
them
the
being dicks
entire
to their
pronoun
customers.
thing. I mean, the pronoun-based discrimination thing. I think it's all shit. I'm like, if they want a pronoun, let them have that pronoun. Are they hurting anyone? No.
No, yeah.
I mean, like, see, do you identify as your biological sex? Okay, fine, go ahead. Does someone not do
Yeah.
that? That's up to them. See, as long as they're not hurting anyone,
Exactly.
it's fine.
See, you be a good human being.
Yeah,
That's
be a good human being, treat them like humans, that's it.
Yeah.
See, thing is, sure, it gets kind of murky, and I'm not going to go into that because I'm not a doctor, but it gets kind of murky when it goes into trans people in sports. I'm not going to open that can of worms because I'm not.
Yeah. See, that is a different topic altogether.
Yeah, that's a different topic, and I'm not qualified to answer that.
Yeah.
I'll see. My answer
That
is.
includes like biology and anatomy and all that.
See, I'm not a doctor. In fact, my experience in medical school is basically first aid. The closest thing I have to medical school experience is first aid.
Yeah.
So
I
that.
guess same. Yeah.
So me stating all this is highly inappropriate. I can't go on saying that trans women should do this, that trans women should do this, trans men should do this. Like, it's not my position to say that. But when it comes to basic education, them eating in restaurants, them having families, them getting married.
I see, that's how do I put this?
That's it. They deserve the same rights every human being has.
Equal for a human. It should
Yeah.
be seen as a human.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Not like
See, they deserve the same rights as every other human being.
yeah.
So discriminating that just makes them, it makes you the
See,
dickhead.
that's what I mean. I feel like in some really basic things, if you just make whatever like such extreme basic things, just make the classification as human. You don't need to make anything.
Now, Fuji, the problem with that is, I'm not talking about problem with classifying it as human, is certain groups want people that they want to bash up people. You get it, right? Now, what you've done is you've successfully removed a specific group they can bash up. Now, who will they bash up? You get what I mean, right? They want someone to bash up. It's nothing to do with them actually
Gotcha.
holding a grudge against any group.
Gotcha. They'll find a replacement.
They'll just find a replacement. I'm not saying these guys don't deserve rights because they'll just go find a replacement. I'm just saying that the underlying problem is not anything to do with the trans community or the people of color community. That's just got to do with the people picking on them.
It's a mentality issue, I guess.
It's a us versus them thing. It's a primitive monkey clan thing. It's a primitive monkey clan thing.
Yeah.
It's more like how I put. It's like you need, like in a way, humans. I mean, the most primitive stage of us, the monkeys of us. They tend to focus on The only thing keeping the clan together is an external factor.
Ah, okay. See, that makes a lot of sense for me suddenly now that you've said it now that you've placed it in a sentence like that. It makes a lot of sense for me in terms of geopolitics.
Yeah, so what happens is right now, for them it's like if only if we bash people who are different from us, we can stay together. But that's an extremely primitive, monkeyish way of thinking.
Yeah, that's kind of sad because that means you have nothing of your own to keep yourself together.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's like them subconsciously accepting that they have nothing that keeps them together apart from hatred. They sure that the left will be like, no, like I'm gonna bash both sides. So I think I'm gonna bleed viewers now. So left kind of does the same thing in a way. They just don't accept it. The right does the same thing, left does the same thing. The only thing is the right bashes people of color, LGBTQ and all that. Left bashes more traditional groups, as in let's say traditional white families. How do I put it? You can still be a conservative and respect LGBTQ rights and people of color. One's not exclusive of the other. See, you can be a person, you can be LGBTQ and still hold on to values of one couple, one marriage sort of thing. You get what I mean, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, you can. So you can be part of the LGBTQ community and you can be a conservative in the terms of the what's actually conservative, not bashing other groups. As in, you can be the parents should see. I don't agree with this per se, but you can be the parents shouldn't divorce. That's sort of family-based thing if you want. One's not exclusive. One's not exclusive of the other.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a weird mix-up. Like putting people into camps kind of defeats the whole purpose of them fighting for fighting for.
See, the whole point of making it like it's either black or it's white. That's not how it works.
Yeah, it's never how it works.
There's like 16 million colors in between.
Yeah, exactly. And it gets worse when they try to be like for example, if you take like within the LGBTQ community, this is pretty common in UK. I'm gonna shit on JK Rowling right now because fuck her.
Yeah, let's go.
Screw her. So she claims to be a gay rights activist, okay? And I'm not gonna say she isn't.
Okay.
But she hates the trans community. She's not a trans rights activist. She's anti-trans. I'll call her a transphobe if that's a word.
I think I've heard that word before.
She's transphobe, but she's a gay rights activist. Now, if you ask the traditional left 14-year-old white girl, even though most of them aren't white, they will be like, yes, they'll be like, she's an ally. But if you look at it from a more bigger picture, I'll say she causes more harm to the trans community, the entire LGBTQ community, than good. Because what happens when someone from
division?
Yeah, she's causing division from inside. All because she's biased towards. I don't know, most of her fandom, I guess. I didn't think about it, quite a lot of LGBT. There's nothing wrong with liking Harry Potter. Quite a lot of people from the LGBTQ community like Harry Potter. See, my dislike of Harry Potter is more got to do with it being an extremely simplistic plot.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say that there are people who enjoy her content. Now, why is she picking on people who actually gave her money? Who she's actually supposed to be supportive of? If you're going by her logic. My logic, you have to be supportive of them either way. Because they're just human beings.
But isn't that also a thing which happens? Again, not in... I've... mirroring it with geopolitics. Harming your biggest interest.
I won't say that happens. I'll say it's more of an ego thing. It's not supposed to happen, but it's more of an ego thing. It's not in her best interest.
Because I saw in talking in terms of geopolitics, I am even less of a person to talk about in terms of gender identity and all that. But in terms of geopolitics, the sentence that you said, I've seen like a full analysis on it that it has happened over and over again in history constantly, and it is like I don't remember now what exactly the video was, but it kind of looked at the psychological aspect of uh, like largest trading partners and like two countries or two country-sized entities who were each other's largest,
Okay, so
let's
that
say, interest.
now I'd say it's like the trading partner thing came into place to stop each other fighting. It's like a counterbalance to make sure shit doesn't hit the fan.
Yeah, but that caused a lot of fighting is what that was about.
Nah, it does, but I would say J.K. Rowling is too microscale to fall into that model. I mean, it's just one bigoted individual when it comes to people like her.
Hmm.
It's nothing to do with like what you're talking about
For
tends
some
to.
reason in my head, I just had a
Nah,
small PP, big DP joke. When you said JK Rowling is too micro.
I mean, yeah, I'm right. She's like too small to fall into this model. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Because her entire thing is, see, she's trying to recreate the success of the Harry Potter franchise,
Hmm.
and she went with the Donald Trump
Wait,
strategy of.
recreate by doing this?
I mean, she's I think she's taking inspiration from the Donald Trump. So just say the weirdest shit on Twitter and see what happens.
Hmm.
I mean, it succeeded for Trump. Why can't it succeed for her? I mean, I think that's her in her head.
Probably,
See, even
yeah.
though whatever Trump said, how much ever bigoted it was strategically placed.
Yep.
He knew that he knew what would rile up his audience.
Yeah.
Like whatever asshole like Tweety put up, he knew his audience. He knew that they'll react to it. Or maybe I'm just giving you too much credit. I know.
He was quite weird, but he was very smartly weird.
No, he's like weird and dumb at the same time. He's like smart. No, he's like smart and dumb at the same time. He's like smart in places where you expect him to be dumb. Dumb in places where you expect him to be smart. He's a master strategist, but he lacked common sense. I mean, I'm just waiting for the sequel for Trump. Like, when Musk finally buys Twitter after like 500 years. After he buys Twitter after 500 years of lawsuits. Of, him making up excuses of why he doesn't want to buy Twitter. I want Trump to just pop up and be like, after 500 years, I'm finally free.
The quest is finally completed.
The quest, now, after 5,000 years, I've finally been released. Instead of him popping up and going on Twitter. And then in a post-apocalyptic world, Trump's just gonna pop on Twitter and be like, "Hey bitches, you missed me." He'll be like, "Wait, I thought you were dead." It's gonna be that Palpatine line. The dark side is a pathway to many things some consider unnatural. But that could happen. Given what's going on right now, that could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, the simulation is broken. The matrix is broken right now. I mean,
I saw the latest movie. It was nice.
Yeah. See, I saw it. I'm like, no. I personally, I didn't really enjoy it. It felt like too much of a cash grab.
Interesting. Okay. For me, it was actually not that much of a cash grab.
I mean, they didn't make enough money.
See, look. The first Star Wars movie I saw in the theaters was the new trilogy.
Okay, no. See, that was that. See, do not. See, Matrix. See, Matrix. I have criticisms of it, but Star Wars, I'm like, burn it all.
Exactly. So compared to that, I think this is fine.
I mean, if you compare anything to Star Wars sequels, it looks good. I mean,
see, my point exactly.
See, it's like saying that my country is developed and I compare myself to Afghanistan. First, you're developed. See, Star Wars sequels are bad because, See, in a way, The Matrix, even though I have criticisms of it, it doesn't go out of its way to insult its fan base. Sure, it's not as smart as the original movie, but it still has certain. How do I put this slightly? How do I put this in words? It has certain things that it's like it's too much of a. It's too much. How do I put it? It's like designed in such a way that you have all the iconic moments without context.
Got it. Yeah, got it. So like Top Gun.
I don't know. See, I haven't watched Top Gun yet, so I can't say anything.
Okay.
Next week.
Oh yeah. Right. You told me about that, right?
Yeah, next week. So I have no context. I have no context whatsoever when it comes to Top Gun.
Good. I don't want to spoil.
Because
It's good. You'll probably enjoy it.
see. Given what I saw, like the reviews, I saw, I'm like, yeah, I want to watch it. I want to watch a movie where it's like finally America just thumping itself. It's like, can you believe that we've reached a point where I missed that? I mean, we reached a point where they show the Americans is bad, like
Yeah, I feel you.
I mean, it's reached a point where like I miss good old American propaganda. I mean, how much
If that's what you're looking for, you'll find what you're looking for.
Then I'm happy. It's like I'm so fed up of watching stuff about quote unquote morally complex characters and maybe we were the bad guys and all that.
Yeah.
You feel me, right?
Yeah, I can't really say anything about that.
I mean, I've seen so many movies about maybe we were the bad guys. Maybe Saddam was a good guy. I'm so fed up of that shit. I'm like, Saddam was not a good guy. You guys might have screwed up in the invasion, but Saddam is not a good guy. I mean, it's
You just forgot to replace the guy with a good puppet or whatever.
I mean, the thing is, they tried the European model. They tried to implement what worked in Germany. I mean, after World War II. I'd say that's one sin. The other sin was, first was them. I would say the first sin was Bush not acknowledging that it's not as easy as you bring democracy and everything's fine. That was the original sin. The second sin was Obama kind of tolerating the election fraud in Iraq in the name of stability.
Got it.
So it's like it's two people who did what they think was right or thought was right thing. That's my stance on this. I'm not gonna go too deep in that because there'll be the conspiracy theorists in chat soon.
We'll hear FBI open up.
See, FBI open up the fire. I don't want to hear another one about bro, it was all rigged, bro. Saddam's actually a good guy. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. A state across, we have a beach named after that fucker, so I don't want to hear that thing.
Oh.
I don't want to hear about that. Just a state across, we have a beach named after him.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't want to hear about that guy. Oh yeah, so someone's posted in my thread. No context. You know that entire meme about Chinese censorship?
There's many. Which one?
Replace the blood with white stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, someone's posted that on my timeline.
Oh.
I mean, Danganronpa basically did that. They replaced the red blood with pink.
Yeah, I mean, pink. How do I put this?
I mean, any color
pink is better than white.
Yeah, any color but white is good. See, it's like, okay, black, maybe,
Yeah, have you seen the episodes?
Which ones? The Chinese ones?
No. As in just, have you seen Spy X Family?
I've seen till episode 3.
Okay, then I don't know. Have you seen the part where
I know which scene the meme came from.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying the Chinese people made an allegation made in the story of the anime real by doing that.
I know the story. I read the manga, so it's okay. You can tell me.
Okay. Yeah, the part where both of them go to the party, she has to like show that she has a boyfriend, but it ends up as she has a husband.
Yeah, okay, so what's wrong with that?
Yeah, they're
That's
the
episode
jealous
that's
whatever.
episode 2 or 3.
Ah, okay. That the jealous coworker is like she tries to
Yeah, okay.
what?
They throw food on her.
Um, and yeah, she tries to throw food on her, and then also what does she say? Yeah, I don't know what was her intention, but she goes to Lloyd and she's like, "Did you know she did so-called private massages?"
Yeah, I understand the implication. She's implying that she was a prostitute,
Yeah, yeah.
even though she wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's innocently thinking that was for killing people.
actually, the thing is, I'm quite sure a coworker knows that she does that job.
Which one? The one with the glasses, the smart one?
I think all of them know what each other do.
Well, I've not read the manga, so I don't know
I
what
think
the
they're
other
all
three
part of
do.
the same group because I know there's a group.
Gotcha.
It's not just her that goes around killing people. I know there's a group,
Hmm.
so it's possible
I mean,
that
yeah, makes sense because the way it is shown, like she goes around, there's a lot of easy like ways to catch her
she works for the country.
if she was
She works for the
acting
country
alone.
she operates in, so it's fine.
Oh,
She actually works for
okay.
what they call the country, the East, the
So,
capital Berlin.
so the brother and the sister both technically work for the exact same place, but they don't know that both of them
What
work.
the brother does is more mainstream compared to what she does.
Gotcha.
The brother
So
kind of operates.
basically, both of them are bad cop, but one is less of a bad cop, one is more of a bad.
Her brother's uniformed services. She's Black Ops.
Hmm. Got it.
Her brother has a set of rules he has to operate by.
Hmm.
Even though he's basically
Yeah, I guess
Stasi.
you can make
He's
it good
basically
cop,
Stasi if you think about it. Like East German secret police. The uniform, like, yes. I'm like, yes, of course he's Stasi. What else can we be?
I mean, look, come on. The first scene in the first episode is Berlin.
Berlin, yeah, it's Berlin. You have East and the West. They talk about reunification in the anime. The manga.
Oh, all right. Yeah, how did that go over my head? I didn't realize that.
It's basically East Germany and West Germany
makes
during the
sense.
Cold War, but they don't go too much into the ideologies of either group
Got it.
because it's a comedy series. You don't want to talk about ideologies in that.
Hmm.
It's East Germany and West Germany. It's like how I put, if man from Uncle and Mr. and Mrs. Smith had a child, and that child adopted a child. That's Spike's family. If you want me to sum up the plot, that's how I'll sum up the plot. Or as my sister put, MI6 is full of shit, and James Bond had to adopt a kid. They don't support. They're like, yeah, go. Yeah, this is your job. You do it yourself.
Yeah.
They could, supply him with a kid.
Yeah, they could.
They could supply him with a wife.
Technically speaking, they would have a more realistic mission set for him. Like instead of trying to get a kid in a school.
Yeah, they're just wasting his
one of the
time.
longest ways to go about doing.
They're just wasting his time.
Yeah.
Maybe the big twist is that.
Who knows? Probably the end twist is that they just wanted him to settle down with a family.
Nah, I doubt it. I think it's. I don't think they want him to settle down. Maybe they're just holding him. They don't want him to lose his edge or something like that.
Maybe.
Or maybe they don't want to.
They don't want him to lose his edge. Give him a family.
He has to deal with a pink-haired demon every day. So think about it. He has to deal with a pink-haired demon every day.
I would still say that demon is much more tamer and calmer and more smart than many other demons I've seen.
There are. She's one of the less dangerous pink-haired demons, but
Yeah.
still, See, there are quite a lot of pink-haired demons in anime.
Oh, obviously.
Wait a minute, isn't the
Oh, you
OG
meant demons
Yandere?
like that? I thought demons as in kids.
No, I'm talking about pink-haired characters. Isn't the OG Yandere a
Pink-haired
pink-haired
characters,
demon?
there's a wild. Yeah.
The one from what's it called? The
Future Diaries.
yeah, Future Diary. Isn't she pink-haired? Let me check. Yeah, she's pink-haired.
Yep. She's pink-haired, pink-eyed, pink everything.
Wait a minute, what?
I'm pink-haired and pink-eyed.
I know, I'm just looking at her. I'm like, so this is basically Callie's mom.
What? Kali's what?
I mean, see, Callie's pink-haired and pink-eyed.
Ah, yeah.
So this is basically her mom, and that's how her mom met her dad. No wonder she knows.
It makes sense with her, what do you call it?
With her
Assassination.
black story.
No, not assassination. What is it?
There is death. She's Death's apprentice.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, makes sense. That's how her mom met her dad.
With her job basically being like taking
killing
people to the underworld.
I mean, killing people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how her mom met her dad. By killing everyone she considered competition. How I Met Your Mother anime edition. It's a story.
Yeah.
It's a story. You got me there. It's a story. No, to be honest, I never really liked Future Diaries. I mean, Future Diary, it felt.
I have not watched it. I saw clips and I was like, yeah, that's enough for me.
I watched like few episodes and it wasn't my cup of tea. Or maybe it's because I saw it pretty late. I mean, I've always seen multiple death game animes by that point.
I can agree with that. I've seen more of the crazy side of anime at the beginning when I started watching anime than later.
And another thing is, this is one of the OG. How about? Yes, the entire city is a death game, and we'll find the most cartoonish people to play this game. Like we have a cult leader, we have a bunch of vigilantes. I mean, blind, basically Daredevil, but less cool.
I see.
I mean, I know the overarching story. It's like the god of time or something is going to die. He wants to select his replacement.
And this girl is the replacement, or the guy?
This girl is one of the potential replacements.
Oh.
I mean the entire selection process is what I call that. It's basically Squid Game, but it's a free for all. I mean, yeah, extent HR practices. What could go wrong? I mean, what could go wrong? Seriously, aren't you supposed to be a god or something? Isn't there like a better way of selecting? And the only criteria to be added to this death game is you need a diary.
Wow.
I'm like, yes, really high HR standards.
That's you narrowed it. Oh, that the meme. I don't know which cartoon character
Batman.
it is. You know how much you narrowed
Batman
it
Beyond.
down by?
Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Do you know how little that narrows it down? It's Batman Beyond. I mean, it's like, but see, given that it's set in a time where people have phones, technically, it kind of narrows it down. But then again, Protagonist Kun's diary is a phone. Protagonist Kun's diary is a phone.
The amount of people I've come across who have diaries, I don't think phones and stuff really make a difference. People have weird attachment with writing stuff down in diaries.
I mean, I don't know anyone who uses diaries anymore.
I can start listing of people who use diaries.
I mean, the closest thing I know is people
I can make huge lists.
The closest thing I know about people who use diaries is the closest thing I know to people who use diaries are people who just make lists of their transactions per day or something like that, which I don't count as a diary.
Oh, I'm talking about girls who talk about their so-called life events.
I think they kind of grow out of that but then again, Future Diary, they're all 16, so yeah, it doesn't narrow it down in real life.
See, that's what I said. I can list down tons and tons of people.
I keep forgetting that they're supposed to be teenagers.
See, that's because we are not teenagers.
I mean, it feels weird when you realize that they're teenagers.
Hmm.
I mean, watch Kakaguri
No,
again and just
weirdly, it
realize that
kind of
Yumiko
fits because
just watch Kakaguri again and keep in mind Yumiko is 16.
wait.
You will wash your eyes with
Oh
soap.
shit! I mean, good thing I never watched it, but I didn't realize there's 16 years old.
No, she's 16 to 17. She's working high school second year. That's about 16 or 17. In
Oh,
fact,
right.
in fact,
Yeah,
most
with the
characters in
weird
anime are
faces
around that
they
age.
make in the.
What call that? Shit,
Hmm.
what's that guy from Konosuba?
Oh, Kazuma.
Kazuma 16 or 17. Around that age.
Chinchin Maru.
And who else? Megumi is 13. Megumi is 13.
Oh yeah, there's no. Recently, there was a big. I don't know if it's like I don't know whether I should call it an event or what, but it started popping up all over internet last year or the year before that or something like that.
Well, Megumi is
People are like,
the
yeah,
retconned age.
yeah, she's 18 now.
Oh, that's it. That's because it's been 18. It's been like X amount of years since the anime initially released. So now she's legal.
Yeah.
I mean, canonically, if you're gonna go with light novel, she's close to 18. But anime, she's 13.
Interesting. I didn't know that they actually lowered her age.
I mean, they lowered everyone's age.
Why would you lower?
I assume someone in the studio wants to get arrested. I mean, Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen is only 14. Tell me if you know a 14-year-old with abs like that. You don't. Exactly, you don't.
Look. Jojo in one of the.
Okay, see, Jojo doesn't count. Okay, Jojo doesn't count. They're all small.
No. Hear me out. Jojo from whenever he's 17 or something, and the girl from Lucky Star are the same age.
I know. No, I like to rub this on my sister's face. Light Hyakumi and Chika Fujiwara are the same age, and given that they're from the same social class, there's a high probability that they'll be in the same school. Imagine, see, if they both exist in the same universe, there's a high probability that they're both going to the same school.
I mean, look, Light Yagami does look like there's a huge resemblance with him, and I forgot the name of the protagonist of Love is War.
Okay. See, the thing is, I'm not my point. I'm not talking about looks. I'm just talking about personality.
Yeah, no. So you said there's a huge chance that they're in the same school, right?
You're telling me they're both the same character in different universes.
Or this guy is that guy, but like a few years. I mean, you did say they're at the same age, so that's.
I mean, see, it's if you never found a death note. Light of Ryuk, Ryuk never tossed the note. Too shy to talk to a girl. Too shy to confess to a girl. I mean,
and in Love is War, I'd say the girl is more likely to use the book than the guy.
Oh no, she's good. The entire story occurs. You find an extremely selfish person become selfless. Because see, she's a monster. Like, the only reason you give her a pass is because it's a comedy anime. So I know there'll be some people who'll be like, "Okay, you're being harsh on her." Am I? No, she's a monster. She's raised to be a monster.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't know how to be anything else.
I mean, she's raised to be a monster. It's like, I'd say it's social commentary on how certain Japanese families tend to groom their younger ones to take over the company. I mean, she'll fit right into Kakegurui. She's ruthless enough to be in Kakegurui. I like to see her gamble. I like to see her gamble and destroy lives.
But more than her friend / assistant would fit much
Nah,
better at.
her friend slash assistant is loyal. I mean, she does a lot of stuff, but she's loyal. That's not a true
Nah.
personality. Whatever you see on screen is not a true personality.
Mm.
That's
No,
that's
I
just
mean, like, even after being loyal, should still, I'd say her overall, the way she functions, I'd say she would still be a good like fit because Kakeguru, if I'm not wrong, also has like loyalty in it.
no, it's not loyalty. No one's like the most successful people are those who are not loyal to anyone.
Then who's the person who lost and then she was like jumped out of the tower or something, but the main character jumps with
She's a
her and
dumb character. She's a fucking
that.
stupid character. I'm like she should have died in that.
But then
Even
how?
like
Why is she like protected or whatever? Why is
I,
she taken care of?
I mean the thing is the president is so manipulative that people basically simp for her.
Oh, so that is more of a mind game.
It's more of a mind game. It's not supposed. It's some people tend to frame it into a Yuri romantic scene. I tend to frame it into an abusive relationship. As in,
Got
she's
it.
the one that tells her to jump.
That's more to brainwash her.
I mean, she's the one that tells her to jump.
Hmm.
She's the one that forces her to jump. It's something like you lost the
Yeah,
bet.
that is like kind of the rule of the bet, right? Say you
Yeah,
lost
yeah.
now, you have to jump or something.
Yeah. So my point is, I will not be loyal to a person who just sold me to the devil.
Hmm.
You get what I mean, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
entire point of a character is to show how dumb certain people can be. Oh, that's my take on it. Take on it.
Got it.
It's like the entire point of that. There is loyalty in a way, but it's more of an outlier than the status quo.
I see.
It's portrayed in a way that protagonists
Loyalty
are the
born out
more.
of stupidity.
No, so it's not more of stupid. It's more of the more honorable characters, like our protagonists, tend to have more loyalty.
Ah, got it.
Loyalty due to friendship more than loyalty due to fear.
Hmm.
While the student council tends to have loyalty due to fear.
Yeah.
So it's so I'd say that the loyalty being portrayed there it's like more of the entire like it's like the author's just is just randomly shooting and coming up with new storylines. But if he or I don't know if it's a he or she, if they're going to stick to a storyline, I'd say it's more or less they stick to two different forms of control. Is it through respect or is it through fear?
Hmm.
And which one will succeed? Because like they randomly just pulled out that the the president's distant cousin or something like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing a clip of that.
I'm like, yeah, whatever. They're all the same family. Yeah, everyone in Japan. Everyone in Japan's related to each other. Of course, everyone in Japan's related to each other. Such a tiny country, right? With such a tiny population.
I mean, yeah, their population is shrinking as well.
I mean, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. They know each other. But think about it. Jotaro from JoJo's and Chika Fujiwara, Light Yagami, are the same age.
Hmm.
Just let and Yumiko Jabami is younger than all of them. Just let that sink into your head. Sorry. I'd say they have a weird
See,
obsession.
kids, there's so much you can achieve at such a young age.
Yeah, don't take Yumiko as a role model. Don't take Jotaro. Why would you do not take Jotaro as a role model? He was in prison at age 17. I mean, I think all the examples I gave were terrible people to take to be taken as role models. See, Chika Fujiwara is basically a scam artist.
Chika might be okay.
Chika's basically a scam
Alright,
artist.
yeah. I mean, but you could do like scam artist stage shows.
I mean, that's
And
not
make
Chika. That's not
money
Chika.
from
Chika's
that.
basically a politician in training. Chika's a scam artist. Jotaro's
Yeah, out of the other so-called role models, I'd say that is still fine.
I mean, Jotaro's a convict. Light Yagami is a serial killer. And Yumiko Jabami is a gambling addict that gets turned on by high stakes.
Damn. Did you leave even one one bad thing left to do?
I mean, there are worse. I could say there are worse. These people are technically sanish.
Hmm.
I mean, the yandere from Future Diaries is around the same age as well, or isn't she? Is she younger? Let me check. What's the name?
You yourself only said no like 2 minutes ago that she's 16 or something.
I said no. I said Yumiko is 16.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't know about this one.
I
Right,
guess I
and
confused
throw in
the
Kazuma,
two.
sexual harassment.
Hmm.
Age 17, sexual harassment. Perfect role model. Oh, she's 16. Megumi Shizumi is 16. 15. Biolo- she's biologically 15, chronologically 16 because she's transcended
Eh?
humanity or some shit like that. I'm like,
What?
yes, of course, she's good. She's the new Lord of Time or whatever. Of course, no wonder the world is going to shit.
Hmm.
And she's
So
15.
that is the perks and benefits you get of being Lord of Time. 1 year benefit,
I mean,
1 year increase. That's all.
she's 15. So you know,
No paid leaves, no nothing, no insurance.
her position is. I mean, she's worse. I mean, if you want the
Hmm.
actual worst percent example role model, this is the worst role model you can get. Basically, a serial killer
Hmm.
who's a simp, who's simping for this for the most soy boy of soy boys. Like I know some of them be like, okay, men
See,
can be soy boys too.
I'd say, given this situation, his position is kind of the worst and the best position to be in at the same time.
I'd say that like give me an anime character that has a normal life. In fact, like I was telling my sister, why Komi-san cannot communicate and Spike's families are quite popular these days. It's because we're so fed up
Hmm.
of over the top shit that something more closer
Yeah.
to normal seems quite enjoyable.
Hmm.
I mean, if you remove the entire spy part from Spike's family, people still watch it.
Yeah. I guess that is the main selling point of that show, the family part.
I mean, look how far anime straight that just an ordinary family
Hmm.
or an ordinary friendship is seen as something interesting to watch.
Thanos meme.
Which one?
What was that? It brought you back to me.
What has it done? It's like I don't think anime ever started that way. Because Shinshan does not count as a family story.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's clearly not.
They banned it in the country when they realized their mistake.
I don't think it's outright banned. It's more like highly regulated.
No, it was banned for a short period of time. Then they got some new. They made a new deal with the higher level of censorship.
Okay. See, I still remember that there were naked people in that show, and they used to put that
Hmm.
on national TV over here. I mean, you redub it. It's a kids show.
Hmm.
Like I don't think anime has ever been, just an ordinary family sort of thing.
Hmm. I mean, the slice of life ones are pretty.
I mean, slice of life ones. How many of them do you see just an ordinary family?
Yeah, that's that too.
I mean, there is one, but
The one which is literally called Nichijou has a robot, what 7 or 8 year old super brain professor and stuff like that.
I mean, we've reached a point where we just want normal stories. So I'll say that's why these ones
Hmm.
succeed.
Hmm.
Like I think we're fed up of high school girl geniuses,
Hmm.
and like sure that the high school kids could be geniuses, but all of them can't. Like how many geniuses did you have
Yeah.
in your class during high school? I'd say zero.
Hmm.
I mean, to the extent of Light Yagami.
Hmm. One could argue he wasn't exactly a genius, but yeah.
See, he fits in the Trump model of genius.
Yeah, yeah.
See, he is a genius, but he's pretty stupid when you think about it.
Hmm.
Because all he did was eliminate low-level crime.
Hmm.
I mean, he like Even when he was eliminating crime, high-level crime, organized crime still operated.
Yeah, I would think you like the natural progression would be to go against high organized crime next.
See, he can only go against people whose faces are known. He can go against well-known terrorists. He can go against.
Oh, he can't go against people who always operate in the shadows,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right.
Like those are the guys who basically kidnap his sister.
Hmm.
In a way, he actually did them a favor.
Yeah, you actually removed like controls on those kind of
See, what happens is
institutions.
now, hypothetically, law enforcement is too busy chasing him. There's
Hmm.
no middleman, no small level crime guys they have to deal with.
Hmm.
There's that, and then there's the entire thing of, let's say he succeeds. Doesn't human society become dependent of a model of fear? It will.
That depends. If he does it all in secret, then maybe not.
He was a narcissist.
Yeah,
He
that's
wanted everyone to know he's going to be the god of this new world. So everyone's operating
mm,
under fear of this new false god.
mm,
Which, the only character I really enjoyed was Ryuk. He's like
mm,
he's like a audience. How do I put it? An audience proxy.
mm.
Just sit and you watch the world go to shit. The Death Note sequel one-shot manga has Donald Trump in it, so.
Yeah, I've seen that. I didn't see the actual Death Note because, yeah, how do I put this? If
Trump.
there's too much hype, I don't see it. And plus, on top of that, I got a ton of spoilers. Plus, I kind of understood the story from it, so I was like, yeah, okay, fine.
It's a one-shot. It's not too deep. All I know is that Donald
Quite
Trump's there.
straightforward.
All I'm gonna say is Donald Trump's there.
Yeah.
If you guys want to see it, go read it. I want to spoil for it, but
Donald Trump. How do you put this?
Donald Trump's a
It
genius in that
does
one.
end up with, yeah, yeah. No, it ends up with the book. I think with the book with him. Yeah.
No, it doesn't end up with the book with him.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. The entire thing is he doesn't have the
Then
book.
who pays like some stupid 10 trillion amount?
And see, the entire thing is he thinks about doing it, but then he realizes that I think I kind of forgot how. I think this is how it goes. It's like the world just needs to have the illusion that USA has the book, not that we actually have the book.
Mm.
So I think the Shinigami Ryuk has the original book. People just assume that USA has the book.
I see. Because as much as I remember, like that is the only thing I myself checked out of the whole.
And I know,
What do you call it?
and I know he was gonna pay that much amount, but I remember there's a panel being like, maybe we don't need the book. Maybe the world just needs to think we have the book or something like that.
I see. See, now that is actually genius.
See, that's not Trump because Trump will buy the book and he'll brag to the world.
He will actually buy the book, yeah.
He'll buy the book. Like, he won't buy the book using for the country. He'll buy the book for himself.
He will buy the book and then he'll be like, see, little man, now I don't just have a button, I have a book also.
No, I don't. No, he'll be like, Sir Kim Jong Un, no, Vladimir Putin wrote a nasty tweet about it. He'll be like, how do I spell his name? He'll sharpen his pencil. He'll be like, how do I sharpen his crayon?
He'll look at Ryuk, he'll be like, hey, doesn't this book have autocorrect?
Ryuk, I'll pay you like $100 to write it for me.
Oh my
Now see, if he gets a book, I'm telling you, Ryuk's killing him because Ryuk will have to hear him brag about how great a businessman he is. See, just think about it, like he has this huge demon thingy that follows him. Okay, that has no choice but to live with him. What do you think he's gonna do with that demon thing? He's gonna brag about how good a businessman he is, and he's gonna brag about all the women he groped. That's it. Don't be like, and I'm gonna say that because I'll get cancelled, but you know which one I'm talking about, right? The Access Hollywood tape.
Yeah.
The Access Hollywood tape. It's gonna be him and Ryuk. But it's not gonna be him and
Ryuk is gonna be like that meme. I know I'm the devil and all, but chill.
Ryuk's gonna be like, Ryuk's gonna go to Congress and testify. I may be a god of death, but this man crossed the line. I just imagine that there's gonna be like a bunch of Republicans be like, what if he's lying? What if he's not even a death god? What if he's a liberal? That's gonna be the you know.
This is Bernie Sanders in a mask.
And Bernie Sanders be like, he's a fraud. I used to drink with him back 300 years ago. I want to see this. I want to see like a crossover where Trump gets the Death Note. So we know that Trump exists in Death Note canon. So I want to see the one where Light doesn't get the
They
Death.
didn't actually like compensate. Trump could actually get money from them.
I actually I think they didn't call him Trump. They just call him the president. So it's like it comes with the parody.
Okay.
It comes with the parody. So
Got it.
but
It's more like you saw that movie, what was the name? The Free Guy or something.
yeah.
In that they put this guy who? I
Obama or
forgot his
Bush?
name.
Obama
Chris
or
Evans.
see, Chris Evans was a cameo.
Yeah, but also they still kept away from like naming stuff.
Yeah, they
Captain
kept
America and all that.
away from naming, let's say, Captain America, the character that's owned by Disney.
Yeah.
But Chris Evans came in there voluntarily.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a cameo from his end.
Yeah, I actually saw. I think I saw that interview when they were explaining how that happened. Like they called him up. They were like, "Can you come in?" And that was like maximum. The whole ordeal was like some half an hour, 45 minutes or something like that.
So, thing is, I know when it comes to politicians, it's a bit more easier to go around that. But thing is, it was done by a Japanese man. I assume it's a man, could be a woman. But thing about Japanese copyright laws, it's way more strict than American copyright law. Therefore, they play it really safe.
Yeah.
But actually, Trump should take it.
Even in general, there was one law that I found like really weird. What was it? So yeah, if somebody has see like the defamation law.
Yeah.
Where somebody says something about you and that causes whatever socially it causes harm to you, your identity or whatever. Usually, yeah, you can sue the person if they are being false or whatever like that, if they're exaggerating. In Japan, even if they're completely accurate and correct, you can still sue them.
No, Fuji, that's the same thing in India.
A convict can sue.
No, Fuji, that's the same thing in India.
Huh?
Yeah, that's the same thing in India. Why do you think I sent the word via a DM instead of saying it on stream? Because an Indian politician in my state...
There should have been tons of...
No, there are tons. The only thing is that there are tons of lawsuits here. The only reason that it doesn't come out is lawsuits take a long time to get processed over here. That's why many people don't sue each other. But
so more than there not being lawsuits, it's more that there's not enough coverage for it.
I mean, that's one thing. Another thing is only people who sue happen to be wealthy. I mean, like if I sue, I'll be going to court every day, and there goes my life. Okay, I mean, I'll be.
Makes sense.
So that's.
And if that happens, you better sue for a good amount of money.
I mean, but if you look at the inflation rate, the amount of money will be worth jack shit. I mean, so what happened was so when my grandfather passed away when my dad was young, like really young.
I see.
And he didn't write a will because he never expected to pass away. So 50% of his assets were handed over to my grandmother, 50% was kept locked up for my dad. The thing is, I always hated when the courts do that. They stick their nose into places where it doesn't belong. The government's like, we'll take care of the money. And they didn't do jack shit with the money. The money was just kept in lock and key till my dad was 18. Due to inflation, that thing was worth nothing.
Okay.
I mean, they're like, they're like, the mother will not give the child money, so we will take it away from the mother. We're like, who the fuck are you to do that?
What if she sends him to buy milk or something?
I mean, like, see, their argument is,
she will give him the money, right?
Nah, I mean, their argument is the inheritance should be split equally between the widow and the child. But there's no guarantee that the widow will take good care of the child's money. So we will take good care of him. We'll fuck it sideways for you. I would like, see, if my grandmother screwed over, you know, you can be like uneducated, lack of education, all that. You guys, aren't you supposed to be IAS guys? You get what I mean, right? So Indian laws are really fucked up when you think about it. Some of them are really fucked up. I mean, like, if you don't write a will, the government has all authority to do what they want with your money. Till you turn 18. So that's why my dad wrote a will.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I think the state shouldn't get too involved in people's personal lives. But yeah, that entire I digress back to the main thing. That entire defamation lawsuit thing. It's not exclusively Japanese thing. It's more of an Asian thing. And it has roots in Asian culture more than any legal framework. It's seen as you're hurting a person's honor, so that's bad.
Yeah, but if the person doesn't have any honor, what honor are you hurting?
I know. See, you're talking practically. See, the Asian cultures operate on the assumption that people have honor. And it's not just their honor; it's the entire family honor mashed up together.
I think I kind of see their perspective.
I mean, I can see that perspective, but I think it's a stupid perspective.
No, I mean the implementation I feel like is stupid. Like if you're saying family honor, then it makes sense that if one person
it's not. When I say family honor, it's not like if I bring
the whole
up
family shouldn't have to pay for it.
I mean, like, it's not like that. It's like, let's say a guy commits tax evasion. Okay. I write a big article about how this slimy guy committed tax evasion. I never bring up his family. Okay, I just bring him up. But his son is a well-known actor.
You put out his identity, right?
Yeah, but see, if I don't put out his identity...
People who read it, who may know his family, then, I mean, I'm trying to see that perspective.
I mean, I understand that perspective, but my point is...
might go for, like, their family. The same as what you were saying, like...
I mean, if I put an alias, he's not going to be brought to justice because they don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the argument. Like, so what happens? He's coming tax evasion. No one's covering it.
If you instead of publishing, if you filed like a legal complaint or something like that,
the fastest way to get anything done is to publish it. Because if you file a legal complaint, it'll be an FIR.
Public noise. Yeah, makes sense.
It'll be an FIR. It'll go inside the system. Invariably, they'll kill the story. You get what I mean, right? The reason journalists tend to publish stories like, let's say, the Panama Papers, is that if they make enough noise, people will be brought to justice.
Makes sense.
And the only reason the journalists who published the Panama Papers got away is because it was published by Germany. I mean, or if let's say an Indian journalist published in India and gave exact names, they're gonna be behind. They're gonna get like lots of.
That person is gonna just vanish.
I mean, that person should run away to Germany. Asylum, political asylum. Because like lots of big families, like mostly Bollywood stars. Because of course it's Bollywood stars. I'm gonna leave it at that. Because I don't want them suing me. But lots of big names. Like India's favorite family. I'll put it in chat for you. I'll put it in.
No, I think I know.
You know which family, right?
I think I got it.
I mean, they have like lots of money. And the funny thing is, both Putin and Zelensky both had money in Panama. I mean, they're the same breed. Sure, I like one more than the other, but both are politicians. They both had shell companies.
I mean, at least one of them. Actually, even that doesn't make sense. I was gonna say at least one of them makes people laugh, but then I realized both of them do that.
I mean, one of them does more. That's the Russian one.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So recently I was just going through Russian casualties in Syria, like the old data, and I realized that the Russians have been fucking up for a long time, like a really long time.
Yeah, they didn't like do like good in like most military operations since it's been Russia.
Yeah, I think even doing when they were Soviet Union, that wasn't that good, but that's a different story.
I know. I mean, I'm saying like they stepped down from that also.
I mean, see, I didn't go too deep into this into the Russian operation in Syria. I realized about 3 to 4 generals have been killed. 3 confirmed in Syria. And it's an
I
air
mean, look,
campaign.
they had
It's an air
how
campaign. I'm like,
long was their campaign?
it's supposed to be an air campaign. I'm like, how are generals dying in an air campaign? Are you like throwing down generals from
Yeah,
the
but
aircrafts?
how long was their campaign? Like roughly what, a year, 2 years? How
No,
many years
it's
was it?
longer than that. Let me check. It'll be like, I'd say at least 2018, 2015.
What as much as what I was getting to is in a span of, I think if I'm not wrong, a year, they had 2 aircraft just fall off their aircraft carrier, and
That's
then the aircraft carrier
see,
had to
that's
be
a
pulled
different story. That's a
back.
different thing. Russian aircrafts are known as flying coffins for a reason. That's a different story. I mean, see
No,
that.
even the aircraft carrier is a ceiling off it.
The aircraft carrier doesn't work. Okay, it's just chilling out somewhere. See, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I know it's that bad equipment. Fine, I'm gonna give that a pass because Russian equipment was always, had that bad reputation. Russian generals were killed due to stuff like he was chilling out near the bird. He was chilling out inside the compound, and a Syrian sniper took him out.
Nice.
I'm like, how do you get people so close to your perimeter that a Russian general can be shot?
Nice.
What sort of idiots do you guys have in charge? And they're gonna say, let me see the entire list. Okay, here we go. I'm looking at this. A colonel, a major, a lieutenant colonel. I assume this is it's any meaning. I don't know. Maybe he's a contractor. Another lieutenant colonel, a captain, a major, a colonel, a general, a colonel.
Nice.
Okay, Chechen military police, special forces, a sergeant, a captain, a lieutenant, a major. These are status is unclear. Okay, presume dead. Now I'm going to go into the confirmed. A sergeant, a private, a captain, a lieutenant colonel. This one was aircraft shot down. A marine aircraft shot down. A lieutenant colonel, mortar attack. A senior lieutenant, airstrike. A major, non-hostile helicopter crash. A sergeant, hostile fire sniper. A captain, hostile fire. A sergeant, hostile fire shelling. A captain of the Special Operations Forces. Hostile fire landmine. A lieutenant, landmine. A sergeant, a car bomb. A lieutenant shoot down. A colonel shoot down. Okay, I'm just gonna skip all of them. I'll go to the big ones.
It's just continuously going on and on.
It's like IED, bomb, a colonel, private, a sergeant, a captain, a colonel, a captain, a major, hostile fire shoot down aircraft, a major general, non-hostile airplane crash. Okay. This is I don't want to make jokes over it, but this is sad. Okay, this is pathetic. 1 colonel, 6 majors, 2 captains, 29 junior officers and sergeants. Non-hostile airplane crash. I think the Russian Air Force's biggest enemy is the Russian Air Force. Captain, a colonel, sergeant, major, colonel, lieutenant, major general. A major general, hostile fire, IED. I'm like, and landmines, I'm like, if you guys know there's a landmine there, what are you doing? I mean, you're not supposed to be there. You need to get one of those landmine clearing things.
Maybe he was like, there's too much dust. We need to find some cleaning device.
Comrade, in Soviet Russia, we have a landmine clearer. You do not clear landmine clears you.
Get the like Dimitri, get the heavy duty Roomba.
Okay, there's a guy, non-hostile traffic accident.
Traffic.
I mean, like, okay, see, there's a colonel from the Special Operations Forces, heart attack.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense. Whatever, a colonel. He
guess
must be pretty old. I mean, if your men are just dying because of landmines, you will get a heart attack. I mean, shoot down is okay. Shoot down makes sense because shoot down is, but 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 if there's a shoot down, these guys have some real. Okay, this is Syria-Turkey border. Okay, so Turks have pretty good anti-aircraft system. Ah yes, then there's a private from the Russian Air Force. He self-killed himself. I'm not gonna say the word because
Ouch.
Susan will get mad.
Got it.
Susan will get really mad. I mean, come on, Russia, just come on. Wow, this is bad. This is sad. It's not like the number of people killed. It's the number of high-ranking people killed.
It's yeah. Not to minimize effect of loss of life, but the number of like more and more in chain of command important people taken down.
It's not just that. Lots of special forces units have been eliminated completely. Like, where is it? I mean, where is it? FSB, Special Group S, Hostile Fire. Special Group K, Hostile Fire. Okay, it's 1 people each, but Special Group K, 2 from Special Group S of the FSB. This is like the CIA Special Activities Division. And I think if they're still going with the Soviet chain of command, Special Group S is the highest secrecy. It's part of Directorate S's military arm. I assume they go with the same thing. I'm not sure if they've changed it, but the KGB used to have a Directorate S.
I see.
Which our Pakistani friends have an equivalent of that, called the same thing. After FSB, let me check. Directorate S. What's the 6th directorate? Okay, so the GRU has a different thing. Directorate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't get much information about the FSB on this. Most probably they don't want much information about themselves out. For obvious reasons.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. At least on Google you can't find them.
I mean, if you make a few calls to Dimitri or Vladimir will know. Dimitri, do you work at, like, just call us Babushka. She'll be like, yes, my grandson work in Directorate S of FSB. Really good government job. She'll be like, Dimitri, you work there, right? Dimitri, you're part of special military operation in Ukraine, right?
I show his medal. I show his letter.
I show his medal. He part of special military operation in Ukraine. And where can he be? He in Kharkiv. I'm telling you that the Babushkas know everything. They'll know everything.
I share location.
I share location. See, I call him on what are they use? They don't have WhatsApp. I call him on Telegram. That'll be his grandma. That'll be his mother. She'll be like,
yes, secure Telegram.
I call him secure Telegram. Ukrainian Nazi not track on Telegram. I'm like, okay.
Oh my goodness. Unfortunate events.
He served and where was he? And where all did he serve? He was in Kiev, and then he did strategic retreat to take over Kharkiv. And now we go strategic retreat to Donbass, and we will liberate Donbass. That'll be like every Russian babushka right now. It'll be that or she'll be sad that Dmitri is dead. One of the two. I mean, it's like
babushka will be like, Dmitri not come home today. Bring me vodka.
I mean, if Dmitri is not coming back, I feel bad for the babushka.
Yeah.
I mean, how many Dimitris haven't come back? That's the sad thing. It's like the Dimitris and the Vladimirs and the every people like that. The average the Russian citizen that also suffer.
Yeah, badly. Very badly.
Because what's gonna happen? Like worst case scenario, the leadership's gonna come to an agreement. Like, it's not. Even if Ukraine wins or Russia wins, it's just the average foot soldier on either side that's gonna suffer. Like, I'd say the Ukrainians would have suffered more because the country's in ruins.
Yeah.
But how many Dimitris were sent? That's a sad thing. Oh yeah, a couple of Dimitris tried to sue the Russian government. A couple of Russian Dimitris tried to sue the government.
I mean, not that that's gonna actually pan out for them,
I
but
mean, I mean, the court took up the thing, so it's interesting to watch. I mean, they're suing the Russian government for
the court
unlawful
actually took
termination
it
of
up.
contract.
Oh, wait, what?
So what happened was they're part of the National Guard or the Rush
Okay,
something. I forgot the name. It's called the National Guard. It's more or less
whatever,
Putin's
whatever.
private army.
You got it?
So they're normally used for domestic operations, and when I say domestic operations, I mean they beat up civilians,
Okay.
and they beat up civilians in Kazakhstan and countries like that.
Okay, got it.
So now Putin ordered them to go to Ukraine, and these guys are like, Ukraine, we didn't sign up for them. We signed up to beat up some random peasants, not to fight a professional army. We're not going. Or maybe they actually had some ethical concerns, but actually doubted because these guys seemed senior enough.
Hmm.
So they got fired.
I mean, could be.
They fired. They got fired,
Okay.
and now they're mad
Yeah, I
because
mean,
it's an
not
unlawful
bad
termination of
that they
contract.
said no and they got fired. Usually, wouldn't be like you be taken as like traitor charge or something?
Yeah, oh, see, that's only applicable when an official act of war is declared. This is special
Oh, these
military
guys.
operation.
Oh, right. Special military operation. Right.
So they never signed up for quote unquote special military operation. They signed up for to serve their country, not to go to Ukraine for special military operation.
Hmm.
So they're like, we never signed up for special military operation, so therefore this is not a dismissible charge.
Hmm.
So like some Russian courts have taken up that case.
Interesting to see the law actually works.
I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, see, the thing is, it's more like the second the deputy commanding officer of that unit has been arrested, like the Russian National Guard. But I think in a way they're not prosecuting the lower rank guys; they're prosecuting the high rank guys,
Hmm.
which is kind of
I mean,
surprising.
they're doing basically. So basically, they're doing what happens to their soldiers anywhere on the field where the higher ranking ones get taken off. They themselves are also doing the same thing.
I mean, right now the worst job you can have is being a Russian general.
Hmm.
I mean, it's either the Ukrainians will take you out, or it's your own bosses that'll take you out.
Your own bosses will take you.
I mean, right now working for
Or who
the.
knows in rare situations where people under you.
I mean, see, right now working for the Russian government is like working for the Empire from Star Wars. I mean, there's a high probability that your boss is gonna strangle you. I mean, your boss who's like 7 feet tall, wears a big black suit. I mean, I'm quite sure that's what's that guy's name? The guy who got injured in Ukraine, the extremely high-ranking guy, the military chief of staff. I think that's gonna be him soon. He's gonna come out of ICU dripped like Vader. And yeah, the Russians fired.
He'll have a red star instead of a black mask.
They have red star on top of his black mask. You feel like the president the president will not accept failures. I can imagine Putin like a little black hood and all that, like Palpatine. It's gonna be like, Ukraine think Putin's dead because he got cancer and he died, and then it's gonna be like somehow Putin survived. I can actually imagine Putin like a little Palpatine cosplay.
By the way, just completely off topic comment.
God.
I tried Oreo peanut butter. Don't buy it.
Yeah, the name. The thing is, the flavor itself scares me. So.
Yeah, because I'm like going to the gym, trying to find like protein kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, peanut butter, interesting. Let's try this. Weird, but okay.
So the thing about peanut butter is you either love it or hate it.
No, if you have it with Oreo, you will hate.
I mean, makes sense. Peanut butter isn't supposed to be mixed with biscuits, but from my understanding, it's either you love it or hate it.
No, I usually like it. I mean, I don't mind it. I like it in some ways, but then this is not it.
I mean, this combination is not supposed to be made.
Yeah. I have not dunked it in milk yet, so that.
No, do not do that.
No, I don't know.
That is classified as a war crime.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm going back to Russia, but I found this really
Yeah.
interesting report today. They're using
Mhm.
air-to-sea missiles and land-to-sea missiles against Ukrainian land targets.
Okay.
You're not supposed to do that. They're using torpedoes.
I don't.
They're using torpedoes on land targets.
Wait, the torpedo, but you said it's sea to.
No,
Wait, air to
land to
sea.
sea, air to sea missiles on Ukrainian land targets.
Why are they.
You know the one that
What?
just drops them from an aircraft and goes into the water and
I
shoots.
understood, but yeah, I understood. I accidentally heard sea to surface and air to surface. In my mind, I think I auto corrected it.
See, that's because you're trying to figure out who would do something like that. Who in the right mind would do something like that?
I mean, I do that in War Thunder, but that's a
See,
different
War
story.
Thunder is
That's a
different. Okay,
game.
see, I can do that in Ace Combat. I have air
That's
to
a
sea
game.
missiles used on land. Not that effective,
Yeah.
but works fine.
Yeah.
But real life isn't Ace Combat or War Thunder. I mean, it'll work. I'm
uh,
not gonna say it's not gonna work. It'll work, but the
yeah,
accuracy would be
it
really
might
low.
work, but it's kind of an inefficient way to go about it.
It's an easy way to,
A
it's
torpedo
a,
is much heavier than a bomb, and like you don't get that much
I mean, the thing is, it's
like
not like a
spread out.
missile. It falls and then it starts going towards the ship in the water. So it just falls on a surface and flies low altitude. I don't know how they rigged it. Or does it just fall on the target?
Yeah, but
Is that what they're trying?
I don't know. See, the again, the interesting thing about a torpedo is the whole concept is to create like a vacuum underwater so that like the pressure causes the keel of the ship to
Yeah, exactly.
collapse, right?
Yeah.
How are you gonna do that on like land?
Or maybe, just maybe, they don't have enough missiles. They're just,
What
they're
do
just
you
throwing
think
what they.
Ukrainian tanks have keels?
I mean, see, thing is, we know for a fact that the Ukrainians are running out of ammunition. Because the Ukrainians are open about that.
Yeah. I saw some articles saying that they're very highly dependent now on like donated ammunition.
No, they're exclusively dependent on donated ammunition right now. Because they run out of their, what called that, their stash of Soviet era
They are
Russian ammunition.
stores. Hmm.
So maybe it's not one side thing. Maybe it's both sides.
Hmm.
We know about the Ukrainian thing. The Ukrainians are open about this because they need weapons. So they try to do it.
Yeah.
They're open about this for sympathy points.
Hmm.
See, Russia being open about it now will just result in the world laughing at them.
Yeah, it'll yeah. Russia has positioned itself to like want to look strong, so now you can't go back
Let's
on
see, if Russia does that, China's gonna laugh at Russia.
that.
China's gonna be like, and I thought you were a big threat, you little bitch. That's gonna be China. Because see, till now, despite what Russia and China be like, we have friends. They always saw each other as rivals, like regional rivals.
I'm pretty sure they see that even now.
It's due to one simple thing: they have a conflict of interest in their geopolitical strategies.
Hmm.
So they're gonna be like this little bitch. And I'm telling you that the Chinese diplomats gonna tell our foreign work on this. Is they're gonna tell Jay Shankar this? They're gonna be like, you thought this bitch will come protect you? Because right now it's not. If Russia has the will to protect it's if Russia has the ability to protect India
Right. No, right now it's more like if Russia has the ability to protect itself
from itself. That's the scary part.
from itself, yeah.
It's
Weirdly
a sad.
enough, that has always been the case with like not just Russia, but any kind of governing body which functions like this. It ends up with the thing eating itself.
I mean, it's sort of the Russian model.
More than like external cause of collapse is more often internal cause of collapse.
See, it's a system that's designed a way that the extremely the power is centralized. The first thing is power centralized, and not in a democratic sense. Like if you look at, let's say, certain countries, like the power is centralized, but it's democratically elected. So, in a way, there are leaders who have the ability to leadership qualities. Let's say something happens to centralized government, regional governments could take over. Russia does not promote that sort of model.
Ah, got it.
because they're paranoid that regions like Dagestan, Chechnya, and all that will secede from the Russian Federation.
Got it. Got it. I
That's
mean,
one.
that has been like, how do you call it? That has been, I think, their paranoia for like 2 centuries now.
I mean, I would say it's not without fault because the moment Soviet Union collapsed,
Yeah,
I'm not
that did happen, right?
and Dagestan, Chechnya, like fuck this shit. We're out of the shithole. Boys were leaving. That's done. And in a way, this entire like see what happened was the first Chechen war was actually surprisingly quite secular.
Oh, okay, interesting.
The Islamic extremism thing popped up when they didn't receive any help from the outside world. And the only people helping them were extremists. That they're like, you know what, we'll join this party.
Hmm.
Now, I'm not gonna debate on what the West did right or wrong because that's like or what Russia did back then was right or wrong. I'm not gonna go into that, but it's just that
Hmm.
it's resulted in Russia having a paranoid idea that all its regional governments will want to secede from the centralized government.
Hmm.
So, and apart from that, the power is centralized within a bunch of selected individuals
Hmm.
who haven't necessarily, how do I put it, earned their keep, rather they bought their keep.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you have
Got it. Got it.
you have a system where, like, I'm not gonna say they're gonna betray the leadership now, but there's a high probability that they'll betray the leadership if it doesn't suit their interests.
Hmm.
So you have an extremely disloyal bunch of guys around you. You have a extremely top-down military where the concept of coming up with creativity is discouraged, and most people who tend to be patriots tend to stay away from the military.
Hmm.
It's like, but I'd say the biggest problem with the military is conscription. So
Hmm.
you have this young idealistic Russian man.
Yeah, and I'd heard that about like in Afghanistan where the big difference between the Soviet military and the American military was if a group of soldiers in the Soviet military was pinned down,
Yeah,
their orders were sit there.
sit there, wait for
And
air
in
cover.
the
Call.
yeah, and in the American military, it's more like okay, you can figure out, you can try to flank, you can do whatever you want, you
See,
can
American
try to
militaries
get
have
out of
a
that position.
have a high level of flexibility. Like it's a result of what happened in Vietnam.
Hmm.
Like Vietnam and
Yeah.
Afghanistan, like Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, in many ways were similar. They were both pretty
Hmm.
dumb campaigns, if I'm going to be honest.
Hmm.
Where they just throw conscripts and hope for the best.
When you word it like that.
They just throw conscripts in and they hope for the best. And the Americans, like, what happened? The Americans were really hesitant to attack Soviet positions in Vietnam.
So it's literally like that. What do you call it?
Random bullshit, bro.
Yeah, random bullshit.
See, that was the strategy. And another thing is like both campaigns were highly were overseen by the civilian government, and then the civilian government wrote strategies for the military.
Got it.
And the third thing was that the Americans knew that Soviets were present in Vietnam, so they refused to shoot positions where they knew Soviets were there, even though the Soviets weren't officially there. And something similar happened with Afghanistan and Pakistan when it came to the Soviets.
I see.
They knew that ISI assets were on Afghan soils, but they refused to shoot them down because they were scared of escalating it with the Pakistan.
Who? The Soviets?
Yeah, they said their fear was that they escalated with Pakistan, they're indirectly escalating it with USC and Saudi. See, they're already stuck in Afghanistan. They just add Pakistan into the mix, it becomes tougher. It's not like if it's just Pakistan alone, the Soviets would be scared.
Your
More of
burger
it's
wasn't enough for you. You wanted to add mustard on.
yeah, that's the thing. So it's two bad sides. The only difference between the US military and the Soviet Russian military in this case is the Americans learned from Vietnam. The Soviets, on the other hand, tend to glorify
Yeah, I
the good old
think
days.
Top Gun is also part of that learning story, right?
I guess I haven't seen the second movie, so I can't tell.
No, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about like real life. Top Gun.
Oh, you're talking about Top Gun School, yeah. It was
Making
designed.
of the Top Gun program.
The Top Gun
That's
program
also
also.
part of that learning, right? That they learned that they need something.
So the thing about Top Gun, the school is like I won't say the when was it 1960 like Top Gun existed during Vietnam.
1969, if I'm
Yeah.
not wrong.
That was during Vietnam. The thing is, it's not the learning part. The problem with the American air campaign in Vietnam was they were given so many targets not to destroy, and most of those targets were anti-aircraft systems.
Oh right, yeah, because those were manned by Soviets.
Yeah, even though officially they weren't manned by Soviets.
Yeah.
So Operation Rolling Thunder, which was I think it's the largest or second largest, it's the largest campaign since World War II. Yeah, largest air campaign since World War II. So that thing was kind of a failure despite them calling it a success because the American civil like the elected government refused military aircraft shooting down anti-aircraft stations. And they didn't want the wild weasel metal being used on anti-aircraft stations.
If only they had. If
The Americans were willing to do that, if they were willing to bring the full might of the American military, Vietnam won't be communist.
They basically did what the Soviets did in Afghanistan.
Another thing is that then comes the war crimes. So
yes.
Both sides, they're like the civilians are helping them. So what do? Let's punish the civilians. So the Americans went for a more, like I'd say, American war crimes in Vietnam was more impulsive in a way. Like it wasn't a top-down approach. It was more of a group commander goes crazy and authorizes the killing of random suspected Viet Cong members, and the government is brushing it aside. While the Soviets went with the Soviet way. They're like, Dimitri, exploding toy. We give that to Afghan children. They actually did that. It's that, and apart from that, the entire strategy of if you eliminate your enemies, if you eliminate the potential recruits for enemies, you won't have any more enemies.
Yeah, that's.
Sounds
Russian.
Like almost everyone's done it. Sadly, everyone's done it. During the campaign against Pablo Escobar in Colombia, the Colombian police will kill, let's say, young men from poor neighborhoods because they are potential recruits for Pablo Escobar's army.
What?
There's at least one massacre that the Colombian government has acknowledged and apologized for. But it was well known that Pablo Escobar recruited young men to be his sicarios or private killers. And each one of them were given, I think it's 80,000 for an ordinary police officer, 100,000 for a full-fledged officer or something like that. USD.
That's more like they didn't have room. The police didn't really have room. It was like kill or be killed.
Killing people is fine, and like this,
psychologically, at least psychologically.
This wasn't revenge killing. This was a powerful strategy by them that they knew that whoever they killed, like this bunch of men they killed, boys and men they killed, weren't part of Pablo Escobar's army. It's the paranoia that they could become part of his army that will kill them now.
Got it.
What it creates a loop where whoever survived, they're more.
Yeah. They are more likely to actually do what you wanted to stop them from doing in the first place.
So it's like, have you seen Sicario starring? I forgot.
No, I don't believe so.
No, it's a great movie. It's like, it's a movie that portrays the entire the Mexican drug war properly.
Oh.
It's just that like I'm not gonna go too much into. You have to watch it. I think it's on Netflix. Let me just check. Yeah, it's on Netflix. You have to watch it since you seem free right now a bit. Both the movies are great.
The funny thing is, we are talking about all of this and flying a P-51 Mustang.
The P-51 Mustang isn't. Oh, it's no. Wait a minute. Sicario, Netflix. No, it's not yet.
It's a good climber.
It's not. I'm sorry. It's not yet. It's like Amazon Prime. It better be on Amazon Prime. It's not yet.
And I'm flying the Red Tails.
There's not Rogue City. Wait a minute. Please tell me there's a pretty close. Nah. The thing about Netflix is there's so much, but yet not what I want.
Yeah, I think that is the standard issue with Netflix
Let me check
or Amazon
Sicario
Prime
today.
or OTT
Oh
platforms in
yes,
general.
it's on Amazon Prime. Both of them are there. Sicario and Sicario
Uh,
Days of Solnado are both there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a good watch. It's a really good watch. But the thing is, like they don't explicitly talk about it. That's the beauty of the movie. But one of the themes
Mm,
is the model of revenge. As in, you kill a man's
okay.
family, he comes after you, and that man kills you,
Mm.
then your family comes after them. You give. So how do you break that cycle?
Yeah, I get it.
So the
Somebody
movie
has to
takes.
stop coming after somebody else.
I mean, they don't like see that's Gandhi's solution. These guys came with the other solution. Just kill the other just kill the entire family of the other side. So there's
Oh
no one left to come after you.
yeah. I think you told me about this.
Have I to mention
Just
that?
kill the whole family and nobody to come back.
I mean, it is a pretty interesting model once you think about it. Sure, it's how to put. Sure, it's inhumane. You're going after
Mm,
at that moment innocent people.
mm.
But the argument that this movie kind of makes is that if you kill the dad, the son's going to be the next.
Yeah, it does make sense in a way.
I mean, it's extremely brutal and
Vaguely makes
it
sense.
makes us as bad as them. But in a way, it kind of does make
Mm.
sense from purely practical perspective. That
It's
doesn't mean
like
I know
it's
this.
like how do you put this? You are trading off generational hatred for a one-time disgusting thing.
And another point is that another thing the movie makes is that like this is one thing I liked about the movie compared to like recently most Indian movies are seriously are trying to talk about the drug trade because despite what people
Mm-hmm.
like to say there's a drug problem in South India.
In South India, I was gonna say North India.
North India was always there. South India it's becoming more of a thing.
Oh, okay.
So everyone's talking like every movie actor that wants to get into politics is talking about that, as in making movies about that.
Mm.
But the
Got it,
problem
got
is they don't understand how drugs work.
it.
I mean, they're like, we kill the drug lord,
As in,
everything's
like,
fine. We kill the
how they
gang,
actually
everything's
work?
fine. They tend to forget that.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't work that way. There's demand and then there's supply.
Mm. You need to do something about the demand as well.
I mean, you can go the Filipino route. I'm not gonna comment more than that.
uh,
But my point is, if you go the Filipino route over here, it's going to turn into the government is killing the poor people.
yeah, it's not. It's going to be on a different scale if that kind of thing
I mean, and that's
happens
one
here.
thing. Another thing is, if you're going to go the Filipino route, is Shah Rukh Khan's sperm that escaped his quantum is going to get killed as well. Okay, Shah Rukh, it's a joke. Okay, don't take it seriously. Do not sue me.
Oh, that took me a second. I was like, what?
I mean, like,
That took me a good 5 seconds.
I mean, they create a model where there's a different justice system for the rich and poor. Can guarantee it'll turn into the government killing the poor sort of situation. I mean, accusation.
Yeah.
So we cannot do that. And second of all, it's inhumane. I'm not endorsing murder, Susan. I'm just stating the possibilities.
Mm.
So there's that thing, and then there's a demand and supply thing. Like you have to figure out why there's a demand. Like what's causing people to get into that. You can't just be like, yes, there are a couple of gangs, we kill them, job done. Not gonna happen. That's not how it works. If every time you kill or arrest a person who deals with drugs, it's just gonna create a new opening.
You're gonna make more. Yeah, you're gonna make it easier for the competition. That's all.
Not just that. So what happens is, it's not like you just arrest a big guy. Everything's gonna shatter. They have people under them. They have middle management. It's like it's a hierarchy. And middle management means, you know what? How about we create our own little gangs?
We take it for ourselves. Yeah.
Nah, that becomes the Mexican model. I think there was a guy called Felix. Which part was what was his cartel called? Felix. Felix Angel. I'm gonna butcher his name. Miguel Angel, and I think they're called Angel Felix Gallardo. Part of Guadalajara cartel. So the Juarez cartel, the Cali, the all the cartels you know about now. All of them, the Sinaloa cartel, the the Juarez cartel, all the big guys you hear about now, they were all part of this cartel.
Oh, okay. So
He's
it's like one big family got.
Yeah, it was a big the big family broke apart because of a few fights with the DEA. I mean, he pissed off the DEA by killing one of their agents, so they're like, "Fuck you, bro, we're leaving you." Sinaloa, the Tijuana, the Juarez, and Pacifico's South cartels were under him. Like he basically revolutionized the drug trade in Mexico.
Surprisingly, Russian prop aircraft weren't that bad.
Russian prop aircraft were good. See, Russian aircraft were good because they were Soviet aircraft. I mean, sure, they were flying coffins, but they're flying coffins that could take a punch. I mean, like, see, if you look at Russian thing, it's like Dmitry, Sergey, how to make fast aircraft. Dmitry, just strap rocket to aircraft and fast aircraft.
Didn't they do that for?
Yeah, they did that. They actually did that.
That's the MiG-25.
Yeah.
MiG-25, I think it had a what engine it had? I think it had an ICBM or some big missile.
Yeah, it was a missile engine. It was just a missile engine. It was like so fast that NATO got scared of it.
Just they're like, Dimitri, the new American capitalist spy plane is flying overhead. What do we do? It's really fast. Do one thing. Make two triangles of steel. You sit in between them. I'll add ICBM engines.
So I think the aircraft is so fast, like it's like so fast that the Indians used to use it for reconnaissance. Even though that's not, even though that's not its application.
It's really famous, the sonic boom one.
Yeah, even though it's not designed for reconnaissance. So it's like you have a brown guy strapped onto a missile, praying to dear God to flying over the enemy territory. And the thing about this is the controls are really bad.
I see.
That's why the brown guy strapped on the aircraft is praying for dear life.
Well, I've never seen the Foxbat cockpit, so I wouldn't know.
I've seen the cockpit. I mean, I've seen what's left of the cockpit. Like, it's in the Delhi.
What's left?
I mean, it's in the Air Force Museum in New Delhi, so they kind of removed a lot of stuff.
I see. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I haven't
it's.
seen the Foxbat. I've seen quite a few of the other ones.
I mean, the Foxbat is basically your like. It's Soviet engineering at its finest.
It's
I
kind
mean, like,
of a cool looking lunchbox.
I mean, it's like, what do you mean life system? Do we really need those? What do you mean life support system? Do we really need those? That's Russian engineering. It's like, Dmitry, throw away the life support system, put it in the toilet. I mean, they have an aircraft like that. It has a shutter in it, which doesn't make sense. Why do you need a shutter in an aircraft like that?
I think they have it in the SU-34 bomber.
Yeah, it's not such a long range bomber. It's not like a trans-Pacific SU-34. It's not like a trans-Pacific bomber or anything like that. It's a medium range fighter bomber. It's not long range, medium range. So why do they need a toilet? I mean, I think the toilet's like one of those fancy gimmicks.
I guess they have too much vodka.
I mean, then why don't you add a toilet in every aircraft? Why this one specifically?
I guess this one has space for. Wasn't there? Yeah, if I'm not wrong, there was a. I forgot the model name and stuff of that plane, but the supersonic booze carrier.
Wait, what?
You know that one?
Wait, what?
You don't know about that?
Which like supersonic?
There was a plane which basically did that, carried like alcohol over Russia, and it was a military supersonic experimental aircraft.
Okay, that's okay. Is it Tupolev Tu-22?
It was supposed to, I don't know if it's Tu-22. I'm not sure, but it's got a weird nose, like weird cockpit face kind of a thing.
I mean, is it extremely pointy? Is it extremely
Yeah,
pointy?
it's very extremely pointy, and it has two engines on the like tail
Yeah,
fed
yeah, yeah.
vertical.
I'm looking at the aircraft.
Yeah.
They've sold
That's
a
great
couple to
aircraft.
Iraq and Libya.
So that was supposed to be a bomber project. For some reason, they didn't meet the whatever requirements.
Okay.
And in the meanwhile, the experimental aircraft, they were like, what to do with this plane? So to boost morale, they flew the plane across country, and as an added bonus, wherever it would land, it would have like they would carry alcohol to
So it's basic.
distribute wherever it would
So
land.
maybe it's a
So
communist boost up.
yeah, so hence the name Supersonic Boost Carrier.
Okay, so it was used by Libya and against Tanzania and Chad, and was used in the Iraq-Iran war. It was the
I
last.
mean, the design doesn't really look that useful.
No, it's not that bad. It's just that I think the payload would have been less than required.
Yeah. No, I mean it looks like it looks more suited to reconnaissance or
Yeah,
like
it
some
looks like a
other sort
reconnaissance
of
aircraft.
yeah. It's too thin to carry a good bomb load.
Okay, and it was used in Afghanistan by the Soviets.
Of course. Of course. Well,
They protect the strike aircraft against. Okay, so what did wait a minute, what? So
to
it was
protect what? How does this aircraft protect other aircraft?
so what happened was withdrawal route run. So we did radar jamming Tu-22 aircraft covered. Okay, it was a radar jammer.
Ah,
Okay, so that makes
electronic.
electronic warfare makes sense. So what happened was when they were going close to the Pakistani border, they did that.
Ah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense because they were scared of the F-16s the Pakistanis had.
Hmm.
I mean,
See, now that would
I
be
mean, it's
really
like
funny.
I think
Dimitri,
it's
we
like.
don't have fighter jets. Strap guns on the bomber.
Oh, isn't that basically why the what's that? Why the toilet aircraft is classified as a strike aircraft as well? It's a fighter bomber. Sukhoi 34 is a striker bomber.
Yeah, it's a fighter bomber. Yep.
I'm like, why? Just make it a bomber, remove the toilet, increase the payload. I mean, why
The
do
way
they?
they advertise it.
I mean, I think the entire point of a toilet is just a marketing stunt,
Hmm.
which is kind of ironic because only Russia operates this aircraft.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
they
did try really hard to sell it in like the early 2000. When
would have
did
tried
it
really hard to
come
sell it to
out?
us.
Yeah, they did. In the beginning, they tried really hard for a very short amount of time, but then very quickly they gave up.
I mean, it's not in India's best interest to have like a medium range heavy bombers right now. I mean,
No,
or
see,
back
that
then.
doesn't make sense considering we have Jaguars.
I mean,
And
I mean,
old
back
and
then, yes, but
underperforming,
now,
but
I mean, back then, yes, but now it's about time we retire the Jaguar.
yeah.
But the thing is,
Now it's about time we retire half our Air Force.
yeah, that's that. But thing is, even if you actually think about medium range heavy bomber isn't in our geopolitical interests. I mean, wait a minute. Why does the pit crew have shots? They look like white people tourists. I'll just send it to you. They look like a bunch of American tourists and these white people tourists in the Middle East or parts of India.
Yeah.
Let me send it to you.
Do their shorts have like the checks or like the patch?
Oh no, that's not that. They have the khaki
light
shorts.
blue and white.
No, that's not the thing.
Oh, okay. That's the khaki.
That's Navy.
Those is what like the Navy, right? Yeah.
Navy. The anime girl pantsu shirt. I'm like Russia loves
I mean,
anime.
makes sense. Russia, the maximum adult content Russia consumes is well, adult anime.
Russia is
Yeah.
see right now. I think the Russians can the Japanese have an advantage over Russia. They can stop all not wholesome anime.
Yeah.
And the only thing Russia can watch is Spike's Family. I mean, no. See, even Spike's Family, they can have fun to that. What's her name? Your looks good. How it works.
Yeah,
But we have to
look,
find an
what?
anime where they can't do that shit because it's gay. Yes, JoJo's. They can only watch JoJo's. I mean, Dimitri, where cute anime girl? This is cute anime girl.
Hmm.
I mean, they can do that. I mean, if I think that's like Japan's equivalent of a nuclear bomb.
Hmm.
If Russia crosses the line, they're only going to show JoJo to them, nothing else.
Hmm.
Putin cannot watch what's that called? What's that famous hentai called? He cannot watch that. Can only watch JoJo's, and he can.
Which one?
I don't know. Assume what Putin likes. Let's see what he likes.
I thought you had something specific in mind.
I don't know. I have to call up the Ukrainians for that. They'll know. Given how much reconnaissance they're doing on the Russians, they'll know what each guy watches.
Hmm.
They're like, Vladimir, what does Putin like to watch? And I'm quite sure they'll like give me a printout of his internet browsing history.
Hmm.
I mean, given how much women, let me just check their website if they know how that SPU Ukraine. Let me take a look. State Security Bureau main page. Defending Ukraine, blah blah blah. Scope of activity for the public. Access to public information. Appeals useful information. Let's check who they put on wanted. Hey man, are these? Who is this female? What's part 1 act? I'm sorry, I like when I look at legal documents, just go all in.
Hmm. Yeah, no. You were listing down like each and every rank like half an hour ago
I mean, that was just ranks.
when we were talking about the Russians who were taken down.
I feel bad for them because they're like, when it comes to death, you know, you feel that military guys deserve an honorable death, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of which country they're from. And then you hear them being taken down like this, you're like, what the hell? What are they dying for?
See that kind of that was kind of at least in my observation, because well, we are all tired of the cliche anime stories. It was kind of well captured, at least from my perspective, in that I forgot the name. The anime which came like 2 seasons back, or like last season, if I'm not
Which
wrong. I
one?
think it was 2 seasons back, where the vampire girl goes to space.
I've never been able to watch it. It feels so weird.
Feel
The-
weird about what?
The Soviet vampire cosmonaut, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, people say it's good, but can I watch this? It feels weird.
In what sense? What do you?
I mean, see, in a way, the art
holds you
style.
back?
I mean, the art style didn't appeal to me. The concept of the story didn't appeal to me. Something like that.
Style is, I say.
I mean, stuff like that.
That style I usually have a low bar on.
I actually have a
It's
high
like you
bar on
never
art
know.
style.
There's a lot of ones which. No. I mean, how do I put this? I do, but then I also give it a chance if the story. Okay, it's two things. It's art style or story.
I mean, the art
Or, well,
style and the
obviously,
vibes it gives
if
off.
there's both good enough.
For me, it's the art style and the vibes it gives off. Like for,
I mean, it does give off proper Soviet vibes.
I mean, it's not the Soviet thing. It felt like what Japanese person thinks the Soviet Union was like, which it is. You know,
Ah.
it's like one of those K dramas my mom watches and recommends. She's like, "This is good."
Oh, no.
I mean, she recommended a one. It's pretty famous. I saw like 2 episodes, really slow, but okay, I can see the appeal. It's about what called that? A South Korean business lady gets trapped in North Korea,
Interesting. Okay.
and she's captured by an army captain, North Korean army captain, who's supposed to keep her from the State Security Bureau. He's protecting her from the State Security Bureau, hiding her in his native village or some
Why
shit like
is
that.
he protecting her?
I mean, he feels
He
bad
likes
for
her
her.
or
He knows
something?
they'll kill her.
He feels bad for her.
Yeah, this guy's apparently a gentleman. I'm like, first of all, North Koreans ain't that tall, ain't that handsome. It's supposed to be malnourished.
Secondly, he's not gonna be They don't have that much moral space to think about you.
He's more concerned about his family. In this thing, they give
His
it.
family, yes, exactly.
This thing they give him like a really weird loophole where his dad's a high-ranking officer, so he gets away with stuff.
Okay. Ah, okay.
But
I mean, like, come on, it's K-drama, obviously.
it's K-drama. Like my first thing is,
Keep
I thought these guys were supposed to be North Koreans. Why are the equipment so good?
Oh, right, yeah.
My first thing is, how do they have nods? At first, I actually thought they were South Koreans. Till I realized the star on the
But
helmet.
look, from a South Korean perspective, isn't that kind of self-defeating?
And
If you're going to use that, like if that is to be seen as propaganda,
they
isn't
show
it
them.
kind of self-defeating?
They show them as drunk idiots, so that's that.
And no, I mean, no, see, whoever's interested in the story is going to be more interested in the main captain guy you're talking about
See,
than the rest of the entire
captain guy is
country and
supposed to be a
military.
giga chad who doesn't believe in the communist ways.
Yeah, and that kind of giga child can stay alive in North Korea. I'm sorry, that's not gonna
I,
happen.
I mean, the reason that she wasn't shot down by anti-aircraft artillery is a big thing.
What?
She's
Wait,
paragliding.
so what? See, her her private jet or something crashed?
No. See, she's paragliding and there's a tornado that just pops out of nowhere and she's
Yeah.
whisked to North Korea like
Okay,
Dorothy from The Wizard of
tell
Oz.
me what? Okay, tell me one paragliding place near the India-Pakistan border.
If you look at it, Seoul is close to the North Korean border, so I'm gonna give the South Koreans a pass on that.
Nah, not that much. Come on, Seoul is like 30 to 50 kilometers away from the border. You don't paraglide for 50 kilometers.
It's a kid. I'm okay. Give it all that. I give it a pass. I'm like the thing that broke me was
We are trying to figure out the practicality of a K-drama.
the thing that triggered me was I'm like, wait a minute, their equipment is this good. They have nods. They have ballistic vests.
What?
Maybe
Or are
maybe
their
his
vests
unit
like
supposed.
this filled with like cotton or something? Like a pillow inside?
I think maybe his team is squad supposed to be what called special operations or something like that. I don't know. Because they posted they posted at the DMZ, so it's maybe implied that their equipment is better because they want to show off to the north to the south. But I'm like, but they show them as a bunch of bumbling drunks and idiots.
Ah, I see.
His entire squad gets drunk on snake wine and sleeps on the job.
Ah, nice.
One of his subordinates is illegally watching South Korean K-dramas.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
That happens in real life, so.
Inception now. No, in real life it makes sense, but that kind of. How do I put this?
Real life it makes sense, but he won't watch it on the job because
Yeah.
There's someone watching him. Being like
One is that watching it on the job. Two, for me, it's more like K-drama be like, yeah, K-drama is good.
It's like a really old K-drama.
Obama medal meme.
No, I'd say it's more like it's an extremely old K-drama, so I didn't look at it that way. The one that he was watching. And the third thing is like the village she's hiding in. They're close to the border, so they have access to the South Korean to the North Korean black market.
Wait.
So see, in reality, there's a black market between North Korea and South Korea, where South Korean goods go to North Korea. That's a fact. So the thing is,
that I know.
So she wants a lot of shit. So this captain's she wants hot water and shit like that. So the captain goes and buys her the stuff she wants, like shampoo.
Nice. So you can get her stuff from the black market from South Korea, but you can't ship her back to South Korea.
You have to come up with a way so that a handsome North Korean captain falls in love with,
Yeah. You can't go. Imagine the guy walking into the hut or wherever he has kept her one day.
He has a pretty decent house,
He's
not
like,
a
you can
hut.
get me all this stuff. Why can't you just send me back? He's like, no. Director said no.
He's like, we're in a K-drama. That only happens after season 1.
Yeah, season 2 is where you get me out.
But the first interaction is kind of funny. She actually thinks he's a defector from North Korea and South Korea.
Oh, funny. Hey, nice man. I'm having a good day today. I should do this. I should be on stream and play War Thunder.
Record all that. Just record all that. Make a video of it.
Yeah, so going into War Thunder just for a second. It has an interesting thing where it auto records the gameplay you play,
Oh, nice.
but it doesn't record as a video file.
Wait,
It
what?
records as a game itself. So how do I put this? Okay, so if I am there's like 10 players from my side, there's 10 players from the enemy side. Okay.
Okay.
And I go into the replay. I can switch camera angles
Okay,
between
okay.
multiple
So got
players. I can
nah,
switch it
got.
to the bomb and stuff like that.
Okay,
So it doesn't really,
so it's like the Ace
it's
Combat
not a
replay
video
file.
file.
Got. It's something
Kind
similar to
of,
Ace
yeah.
Combat.
So yeah, and unfortunately, it doesn't have a like rewind. It has a pause, it has a slow motion, but it doesn't have a rewind.
Okay.
So
Okay,
once
so
I
it's
play it, I get the footage I want, and then if I want to get footage from a different angle or whatever, I have to replay it from the start.
okay. It's similar to Ace Combat. I know about the new one, but
Hmm.
the old ones have that.
Yeah, got it.
So it's part of the game file.
Yeah, it's that. So I don't need to unless I needed to like record myself playing it. Unless I had to do that, I don't need it. And for
Right.
what I need it is just for cinematics.
Got.
So that makes more sense for me to go in later and record.
No, so I have that on
Right now I'm
my.
just playing.
So the only version of Ace Combat I have now is the one for the PlayStation Portable, but I need a graphics card to convert that to.
Hmm.
And since the PlayStation Portable is now an outdated piece of equipment, whatever graphics card I want is extremely expensive.
I mean, you could get. I mean, yeah, right. Money.
Money. It's like
Hey, if you ever have the chance to fly to Japan for whatever reason, there is quite a lot of like specific antique stores for
nah.
this
See, in
kind of stuff.
Japan it'll be cheaper to get because they still sell the old Game Boys. But the problem is
Yeah,
going to Japan. Going to Japan.
Hmm.
That's the biggest issue. Like, Japanese are really strict about visas, right?
Yeah, they just about. I think recently they opened up for like some they allowed some kind of foreigners.
I mean, the thing about Japanese immigration is that it's. I think they need like immigration laws similar to other countries.
Hmm.
Now, let some immigrants come in.
Yeah. I mean, they're how do I put this? It's gonna be really, really difficult for them to do it like that.
I mean, I understand that, but they've reached a point where they actually need to do
They
it.
need it or they're gonna die off. Yeah.
Yeah. So
The country is gonna die.
them not doing this is. It's like the government wants it, but the people, to an extent, I'm not gonna say all people, the ones that vote, the oldies are against it.
Got it.
So it's like a weird situation where they can't afford for the oldies to die out.
Hmm.
See, they could, the oldies could die out, and they could bring that all that, but the thing is, first of all, Japanese oldies live for a long time, like a really long time.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, it's like young people don't seem that interested in the democratic process, as in most developed countries,
Yeah. Happens.
because let's see, worst case scenario, you'll get a Trump. Like that's how they see it. I mean, if you're a liberal, if you're a conservative, they'll say you'll get Biden. That's the worst that'll happen.
Hmm.
And all honesty, it's not that bad compared to say what could happen in a non-democratic country.
Hmm.
So they're like, what's the worst that'll happen? But the problem is they have to act fast or it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, just let me immigrate Japan. I'll add lots of value to the country. I mean, let me and the fellow weebs, but not some weebs.
No, if they let you come in, they'll have to do a lot more than just change visas.
Wow, what did I do? I mean, they could the defamation law. Maybe they'll have to change that.
See, Now I don't need to say anything. You'll start listing off things one after the other.
I mean, I mean,
You'll start listing off yourself.
I mean that, and maybe change the. What else should I change? Maybe change the age of consent to 18 because I find it weird that 16-year-olds can do the deed, but then they'll still have to go home to mom.
Yeah, not because it might be wrong, because I find it to be.
I mean, the reason I find it weird is it's wrong.
Yeah, I know, I know.
I mean, Fuji, think about this, okay? Till age 20, you're considered a child. As in, you can't get an apartment, you can't get a job or whatever without parental consent. Okay? So, but from age 16, you can be railed by a 40-year-old creep from across the street. So it doesn't.
See, I'd say that is the extreme version of how I guess most kids, or at least most Asian kids, get treated. That you'll be treated like you're a kid, but you will be expected to act like you're an adult.
I mean that's a cultural thing. It's not a legal thing, and no
No,
other.
I'm saying that's like taking it to the extreme.
I mean, yeah, that's one thing, and no other Asian culture would accept the daughters or sons at 16 going around poking people. You get what I mean, right? So it's a weird situation. Japan. Just put me into one of your cabinets, maybe and I'll help you with your legal frameworks.
See, and you were asking me what other than visa needs to be changed. The entire country.
I mean, a girl's got to eat, right? So she needs money.
Hey, we can make a immigration house in the parliament.
Oh, you mean
like a few seats made of immigrants?
Yeah, I think that's pushing it too far. I was talking more in a bureaucratic
if you're gonna go, let's go the full length.
I was talking more from a bureaucratic sense. not like a completely functional job. See, bureaucratic sense meaning I have a level of of being like I didn't do it, not my fault.
Imagine like our public outreach will be streams.
Yeah, I see the Japanese already do that, so they're already ahead of us on that.
Yeah. 5 brain.
I mean, some places they're extremely advanced, some places they're extremely primitive. So the first thing is age of consent, age of drinking, and age of going and living on your own, 18. Job done. First thing first. Second thing, tall people are not Godzilla. That is a fact. Put that in every book.
What?
Or if you're tall, they look at you weird. I think that's most Asian places. Cultures though.
I guess, yeah, that's most Asian places, right?
I mean, if you're like 6'2" or something like that, look at you weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 5'9", they look at me weird.
That is most Asian places, I'd say.
So second thing, that's
yeah. I mean, there's a tall. How do you put this? It's different for guys and girls. So then again, it's like.
So see, if it's a guy, they're like, I want that guy. If it's a girl, they're like,
no, if it's a guy, 5'9", they're like, okay. You're fine. If it's a girl, 5'9", oh, tall.
See, thing is, biologically, women and men are of different heights, so. Makes sense.
No, I'm talking about the looks.
It's how I put. It's like men about 6 feet are considered ideal for some reason.
See, I don't see that as like, how do I put this? I don't see that as the practical reality. I see that more like that weird influencer push thingy.
I mean, wasn't the 6 feet thing already existing before influencers became a thing?
I'd say that was more of like some or the other level of social stunt only.
I'd say
guys above 6. Like, look, practically for anybody who like who tries to preach this, practically it's not going to work out for more reasons than one.
I mean, see, just because of so I have a really good reason. If there are any kids on stream, get out. Just get out. I'm giving you a few seconds. Get out.
I did say more reasons than one. I guess we're going into that.
So kids, get out. All of you, are you left? Good. So here it is. The practical reason is, see, if a guy's tall, his ween is gonna look small. Okay.
Oh,
Ladies out there, you don't want that.
I was gonna more say about like height, like compatibility in that sense.
Height compatibility is fine. There's always the stool. Height compatibility is not a problem. It's just that they look like they're suffering some condition that people stereotype Asians having.
Mm,
Just saying, okay. Just saying. So,
mm.
and tall guys, this ain't a dig at you. I'm just stating the facts.
Mm.
And before anyone goes, the shoe size is a myth. Okay, the shoe size correlation with
Shoe
dingaling is a myth.
size? What shoe size?
Oh, you don't know that. So what happens is there's
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
okay. So the stereotype that the shoe size is directly correlated to your dingaling's length.
See,
So,
you
so
know, I'm a, how do I put this?
no, don't tell me your shoe size. Just leave it as it is. I do not want to know.
No. I was gonna say, you know, I'm a like standard normal thinking guy. When you say that, and I immediately I looked at my leg.
I say Fuji's feeling a bit.
I just instinctually, it's just male instinct to look at the feet, like, ah.
No, that's actually a stereotype. So what happens is like
I see.
so in any movie or TV show where they say, oh, do you know shoe size? That means they're talking about that thing. They're not talking about his actual shoe size.
Nah, that's.
Actually, Frozen managed to
You
sneak
look
that
at
in.
the actual feet, you can tell.
No, I mean Frozen, like the kids movie Frozen, actually snuck that in.
I mean, Disney is known for doing that.
I'm not Disney. See, Disney is not that well known for that, but I was like pleasantly
No,
surprised.
it is. You don't know.
I mean,
Disney does that almost every movie.
I mean, the old Disney. You're talking about the new ones tend to be really.
Ah, okay.
I mean, Frozen era Disney
I
doing
mean,
that.
new ones, Disney doesn't really put out that many movies in the first place. So.
I mean, see, back in the day, kids, the families used to watch movies together. So, it wasn't a kids' movie; it was a family movie.
Okay, that makes it a family movie.
I mean, the dad and the mom should have fun as well, right? They can't be watching kids stuff.
Yeah, you're
So,
watching a
so there's
movie.
an entire scene in Frozen where
Little Timmy is watching a movie and suddenly dad stops laughing. He's like,
yeah,
what?
see, that's happened a lot of times. Little Timmy watches a movie, dad starts laughing, little Timmy's confused, and dad be like, once you're old enough, you'll understand. That's happened more times to me than you can imagine.
Oh.
Dad
Yeah,
starts
that's
laughing,
good.
I don't make it doesn't make sense to me. I grow up, I realize why dad laughed. Or mom laughed.
Yeah, hasn't really happened.
I mean, you'll reach there soon. Don't worry.
No. It's more like either all of us watch and none of us get it, or all of us watch and everybody gets it.
Got it. That's like
It's
how.
like that.
I mean, back when I didn't get it, I mean, like when I was a child.
Yeah, no, I got what you're saying.
It's
See, the thing is, we didn't really watch that like stuff that much
okay.
when I was young.
It's Harvard. It's like they sneak it in there, and I'm actually grateful that now the kids heard me say that. Hopefully.
Hopefully. I
Hopefully.
mean, look, this isn't Twitch. So.
I mean, Twitch is fine. Okay, Twitch. Twitch. I can be in a hot tub and it'll be fine.
I mean in terms of it'll go away after some time. Here, it's not going to do that automatically.
I mean, how I put this. Daddy Bezos is more forgiving than Susan.
Yeah, true.
See, Bezos, the worst he'll do. See, Bezos right now, he's in the bachelor mindset, so he's not gonna think too much about all this. Susan, on the other hand, is like, see, maybe I'm going too deep into speculation. Susan, this is just a joke. Don't take it seriously. But I think Susan's in that a deep thing where women in tech are being eliminated, so she's terrified. I mean, you know the face.
You can.
I mean, it's
more
not
than anyone here. You can talk to her about that.
Alright, Susan, it's fine. Don't let the men push you over. Embrace the crudeness of YouTube. Let it flow. Just let it go. Just add another. Okay, but then again, if you do
Let
that,
it
kids
go,
are gonna fake their age
let
and they're
it
gonna watch it.
go.
Never mind, never mind. Don't listen. Everything I said from few seconds ago, forget it. As well, but one thing, please bring back the dislike button.
Yeah.
I miss the dislike button. I miss the good old days when I can just look at a video's like to dislike ratio and realize if it's full of shit or it's actually.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. See, I don't see the whatever they say. It feels mostly like they're doing it to protect themselves from the bullying they get at the what is
Yeah,
it,
it actually
YouTube
does.
Rewind videos.
It feels like how to put. I'm gonna sound like an ultra what call that redneck conservative who goes out for drinks with Nuna. But here you go.
Okay.
Those fucking they're all snowflakes. Okay, they're all like, oh, words are hurtful. Don't be rude. I'm like, shut. Like, see, if someone could does says shit, you gotta call out that shit. You can't be like, oh no, my rude words will hurt them. You get what I mean, right?
Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about, the Japanese thing.
Yeah, I know.
Like the person who has done shit also gets to sue the other person.
I mean, how I
It's
put.
like that. No, they've done shit. You do something about it.
I mean, like how I put. Like I sent you that word, like a word that could get me sued over here, right? See, that word doesn't have any bad name, but saying that word is bad because apparently lower caste people used to be called that back in the day, so it's rude to bring that word up. They basically turned it into the N word. But I have the pass. My ancestors were low caste, so I have that pass, but I can't say that on stream because then I have to go prove that I'm part of that group. You get what I mean, right? There's that thing, then there's Astolfo's race. That's now a slur apparently. Najima from Komi-san. Apparently using that word is now transphobic, it seems.
I don't see the one weird thing I don't get is when did this happen where like media and like media companies and stuff like that
They
for
became
some reason like when did this happen that they started thinking like they are like countries and governments?
no, so the thing is, media companies tend to do stuff that sells. Okay, media companies have no soul. So people, it's like
Yeah, no, but considering that they should be they're doing the wrong things considering that.
I mean, see, what they'll do is like they'll switch. Like, if you, let's take Amazon, okay, Amazon Prime, Amazon videos, movies. Okay, Amazon plays both sides. If you look at Jack Ryan, it's basically the most left-wing conservative shit you can, left-wing liberal shit you can find. They slaughtered my favorite character. But if you look at, let's say, the boys, it goes into hyper masculine fuck the liberal thing, where they basically made the AOC stand in a bad guy. The big twist is she works for the bad guys. You get what I mean, right? So they're playing both sides. Media companies, I mean, companies as a whole like to do that. Their bottom line is profit. It isn't any.
No, I mean, I see that's what I mean. I'm talking about, see, considering that YouTube isn't really making much profit.
See, YouTube is basically how an extension of
And
Google.
decisions like removing the dislike button, I don't see it, like a single bit of what is profitable in that.
I mean, I see. You basically cracked the code. It's the YouTube Rewind. See, you cracked the code there. It's YouTube Rewind.
Imagine the world's biggest social media company.
Being
Everybody
upset.
on that platform.
That's what, like. See, I'm just. It's like a bully McGuire. Gonna cry. Like I just replaced McGuire with Bezos. That's gonna be him when he wins the streaming wars. He'll be like, gotta cry. Now, another thing is YouTube actually has a unique advantage where they can eliminate Twitch completely. I understand why they're not doing it. I think even Nux, I think even Nux brought it up. YouTube has the ability to destroy Twitch.
How?
You know, YouTube live or streaming or whatever. Let me go to YouTube. It's hidden somewhere.
Wait, what?
So
Aren't we
there's a
live on
special tab for
the
you live.
there's okay.
I mean, what he says, first thing first, make it prominent. Second thing is add some of the features that YouTube that Twitch has, like rating
You
other
do
people and all that.
realize you're
I mean, YouTube is already working on that, as far as I'm aware. It's just that they haven't
hmm,
implemented it.
hmm.
I mean, they like
You know what?
theoretically speaking,
For
I
the
think
sake of everybody on both platforms, I hope
they don't.
neither one ever actually ends up fully winning.
I see, they won't win. Neither side will win for one simple thing.
As long as they're fighting each other on equal footing, we all benefit from it.
I mean, the truth is they're not fighting each other, they're cooperating with each other. Because the moment one wins,
Uh, yeah.
the moment one wins, the governments are going to crack down upon them.
Mm.
You know, they need, like, it's the same reason Pepsi and Coke exist as two separate entities.
Not it, not it.
They
Yeah.
need competition. Without competition, they become a monopoly, which in turn makes them a prime target for governments.
Monopolistic competition.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's more like the video I'd seen about like I think I've talked about this before, like internet in US.
that's actually internet everywhere. Why do you?
I say that I myself have been suffering from internet monopoly for over 2 years now.
I mean, why do you think what all that? Ambani hasn't, Reliance hasn't eliminated every other internet service provider.
Mm.
Like he needs them to make sure that he doesn't become a monopoly. Like he doesn't become classified as monopoly.
Mm.
They need him to basically feed the remains. Like they get the
Mm.
second hand stuff. He gets a prime cut of meat. They get the bones.
Oh, it's like the. Give me a second.
Sure.
Uh, I just ran out of Bluetooth. There we go.
Okay, you still use
I'm on a
wireless. You
phone.
use wireless now.
Huh?
I'm kind of an old-fashioned person. I still stick to wired when it comes to streaming.
No, that's because I'm through like my phone, not on the PC.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would use wired. The only reason I came through the phone was because, well, War Thunder doesn't really like the mouse cursor to go out.
Okay, got it.
So once I would have started, I wouldn't be able to control anything else.
Okay.
So yeah, that's like the what do you call it? Mm, that's basically like one of those foot massage like thingies in the malls where you put your feet in the water and there's this tiny fishes who eat your skin basically.
Oh yeah, that's basically smaller internet service providers now. It's like the thing
Mhm.
is, I'll say this. It's the same thing between Swiggy and Zomato in India.
Hmm.
One keeps the other one alive just for this purpose that they don't become classified as a monopoly and the government doesn't get interested in their activities.
Hmm.
At the moment, let's say one acquires the other, one eliminates the other. It's in every politician's best interest to crack down upon their company.
Hmm.
Because if there's competition, they can be like, oh no, we have to keep them alive because jobs and shit like that. But the moment they become powerful, they become a threat to governmental. Say, like by design, a government should maintain monopoly and laws.
Got it. How? Okay, so what if two competing companies have the same parent company? How does that
Uh,
fit in?
that doesn't fit in. That comes under conflict of interest. That it depends on that would be regulated. And
Okay, so
that's why Disney was banned from by Congress from acquiring certain companies
hmm.
because
Got
that's basically the same thing as that. The same parent company having to subsidiaries that compete against each other, or at least on paper
hmm.
compete against each other. That's one of the laws that regulate Disney from becoming all powerful.
I mean, they are already very close to all powerful.
I mean, they could become more all powerful. Just saying.
Hmm.
I mean, if you've seen The Boys from Amazon, a good show. If anyone who are kids here don't
I
watch it,
saw the first 5 minutes. That was the extent of what I could see.
too violent.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
was like, I'm okay.
I mean, what International is basically a parody of Disney.
Hmm.
Or Marvel Studios, which is part of Disney.
Got it.
I mean, if you thought the first 5 minutes are bad, season 3 is extreme.
Yeah, I have seen clips of it later as well, but how do I put this?
Not your cup of tea.
The no, the emotional build that was given in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, nah. See, either like there's not that much emotional build in the beginning, and then you thrash it away like that. You just show the thrashing, no emotional connection. Fine, I can see that. I wouldn't really mind seeing like there's a scene where this guy basically lasers an entire crowd of protesters.
I know that's all in his head.
Yeah, so that I'm fine with.
But you don't want the people that are being lasered to be people you build an emotional connection with.
Yeah, like the first 5 minutes where they have the whole story with the boyfriend and the girlfriend, and
They just kill her.
it just turns into tortilla or whatever.
They kill her. Oh, that sends him on a quest for revenge, and that's how the entire series goes.
Yeah, that's how the whole thing starts. I know, I know.
Then he meets an extremely dodgy British guy
He
who's
meets
who's played
Bones.
by a New Zealander, by the way.
He meets Bones from Star Trek.
Yeah, I got Bones from Star Trek. They got Bones from Star Trek to play an extremely dodgy British guy who used to work for the CIA, who recruits him into a secret squad whose only job is to kill superheroes.
uh,
I mean, if you think the TV show is bad, the comics are worse.
oh,
The comics are much worse.
it had interesting.
And sometimes the comics reach absurdity levels.
I thought this was an original.
It's loosely based on a comic series of the same name.
Hmm.
And I say loose, I mean like extremely loosely based because a lot of things are different.
I see.
Like the guy who was dressed in full black in the superhero
Mm-hmm.
team, his character is drastically different in the comics.
Got it. Got it.
Or the extremely British guy's commanding officer is a lady, is female in the TV show.
Hmm.
And it's one of the cases of gender bending which doesn't destroy the character.
Hmm.
I mean, there are lots of changes like that.
Hmm.
But see,
See,
this.
that's a funny thing because when I first came across the trailer, I was quite interested. I was very interested. And usually, I'm not the one to watch shows.
Okay,
I don't really do shows that much. I'm more into like regularly watching anime than shows.
okay.
Usually, it's Mummy Everest who sees that stuff, and then slowly I am in the room. I'm walking around, and I start seeing it, and that's how I start seeing shows usually.
Okay.
This one time I was like, "Hey, this looks interesting. Let me also introduce something."
Okay, don't tell me you showed it to your mom.
No, I saw the
Good.
first 5 minutes. We were gonna watch it together for some reason. With busy, so I was like, okay, I'll watch the first episode. I'll see what it is about. I see the first 5 minutes. I don't speak of it.
Oh, you wanna know what happened in season 3, episode 1? Oh,
No,
that
no, no. I didn't.
that shit broke the internet. People were like disgusted to all your level. I was like, my first question
No,
is,
so that happens. She comes in the evening and she's like, yeah, we were gonna watch that show. And I was like, no, we're not gonna watch
Mom,
that
we're not
show.
gonna watch that. We're not gonna talk about that.
I don't think so.
Like, see, if you thought the first episode was bad, well, wait till season 3.
Uh,
Apparently, I've seen the fourth episode of season 3, but apparently it's censored in India, so I don't know what thing happened. All I know is that it's censored in
I
India.
can very easily figure it and see the uncensored version if you want.
I don't want to watch that. See, the thing is, I know it's something to do with a guy getting pegged. That much I know.
Okay, then I guess that makes sense. That it's censored.
I mean, there's one that's worse than a guy getting pegged. So I don't know.
What?
I know what the Indian Censor's office was doing. Censor Bureau was doing.
They let that slip through.
I mean, you want to know what happens?
The worst one
Yeah,
that they let slip through.
yeah.
Okay, the census. Is it in some music sequence or something? Because they're really stupid about that.
No, no, no. It's like you fully know what's happening, and so you're like you feel disgusted.
Okay, what did they let slip through?
Okay, so there's a guy who can shrink. Okay, to any size.
Did he do the Thanos thing that everybody wanted Ant-Man to do?
Yeah, but he didn't go through that hole. He went through the male pee hole.
Oh, oh,
And the thing is, he didn't do it by purpose. He was doing it accidentally. It's a sexual thing apparently. So he sneezes, he goes up, and the guy's dead. And I'm like, good lord, no, no. I'm like, Census Bureau, are you drunk or something? Why you let this pass?
wait, so is that like implied or you can
You
just
see it,
see it?
you see it, you see him go through a caravan of stuff. It's like a cave. He goes through it. He sneezes, and the entire thing blows up.
You see the interior or you see the exterior as well?
You see the interior. You know what it does.
Okay. Got it.
You see him eat some white stuff.
Look, maybe the censor board didn't get that much sex help.
I mean, come on. You don't have to be. You don't have to be a genius to figure it out.
See, maybe they didn't see that when they were young. They didn't see that. What was that show where the school bus would shrink and go inside human
Magic school
body?
bus. The magic school
Yeah.
bus never went inside anyone's pee. I'll tell you that much. They didn't go inside anyone's dingling.
No, there was one about like sex ed also in which I'm pretty sure that was there. But they didn't go inside a PP.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
not
Then
that.
this guy went inside the pee, sneezed, and then killed his male lover.
Wait, what? So he went in. How?
He went in because of the sex thing. He sneezed, killing that guy, and some the French guy of the boys team walks in and is like, I didn't see everything. Let me go.
Uh, see, that's where I feel like
Maybe it's gone a bit too far.
stop doing drugs. Get some help.
I mean, it's
Normally, can't go there.
the entire thing was supposed to be shock value.
I mean, yeah, that I did get that in the first 5 minutes, enough to not.
And then
Even though I wanted to watch it for Bones because Bones was there.
I mean, Bones incapacitates the tiny guy. So he's basically Ant-Man without the suit. As in, he has the same power set without the suit. So he tries to climb up the French guy's ass. Do the Thanos thing. So the implication is this guy's done it multiple times. So Bones
I have a question, but I feel like I don't have that question.
So Bones incapacitates this guy by tossing tiny him in a bag of cocaine.
Nice.
I mean, he has the urge to kill him, but he's gonna kill him. But he's now by season 3 he's on the authority of some government agency that requires him to hand him over alive.
Nice. So wait, so it's government against superheroes? These guys can work with the government?
I mean, so the thing is that the original team was a CIA team that was designed to keep superheroes in check. First, they used to work under the CIA. After the CEO's grandchildren were killed by a soup, they disband.
The grandchildren were killed by what?
A superhero.
Okay.
Who they're investigating.
That make it more like. Shouldn't that make it like more of a thing that they should go after them even harder now?
I mean, that's Bone's perspective. Her perspective is how many people have to die because of my personal vendetta. So she retires. Bones kind of operates it quasi legally. And by season 3, they're under the chain of command of a different organization called, I think, Federal Bureau of Superhero Enforcement or something like that.
Nice.
So
they're basically government black ops against superheroes.
No, they're like they start off as black ops against superheroes, and they become a law enforcement agency against superheroes.
I mean, that's the reverse route.
I mean, like how they start off as Black Ops, and they become more
Mm.
of the special ops for a law enforcement agency.
Mm.
Although in many cases they operate quasi-independently.
Mm. That's really interesting because, like, technically speaking, usually the progression is the other way around.
I mean, they're still Black Ops for all intents and purposes.
Mm.
I mean, they don't follow orders. They tend to work with the latest episode work with the Russian mafia.
Mm.
They tend to do questionable shit.
I mean, you did say a bag of cocaine, so yeah.
Nah, it's a bag of cocaine. He just randomly found it in the party. It's not like it's his personal stash.
Oh, okay. So they didn't like try to get it themselves. I mean, yeah, makes sense. Hollywood, US, you just randomly find a bag of cocaine.
See, it's not just Hollywood. If they're the rich folks from entertainment, you'll find a sack of cocaine, not a bag, a sack of cocaine. And these superheroes are just a stand-in for Hollywood celebrities,
Mm.
which is
Yeah,
ironic, which is extremely ironic.
mm.
That's like,
So
what?
basically speaking, superheroes aren't superheroes at all.
No, I'm just thinking superheroes are superheroes, but they become superheroes because of a special chemical that Disney stand-in gives them.
Who gives them?
The Disney stand-in, they all work for a company.
Oh, right, yeah, I do know that. Yeah.
So they get this blue drug, which was administered to most of them when they were kids.
Mm.
They were given they were like, fed the light that they were born
This is more like a
superheroes.
twisted version of Halo.
No, see, Halo, they were built as humanity's last stand. These things are just a bunch of narcissists. I mean, and they're giving the dumbest backstories possible. Like, a guy's like an alien from space or some shit. Like, you get the idea, right? They're all
But
just
wait,
they're all
kids were like normal kids have been given like drugs basically. Why are you? How does that backstory make sense?
so it goes something like this. So the kids are given drugs. Okay, the kids are not aware of drugs, and they're raised by their parents.
Okay,
So
they're
so
raised by who?
their biological parents.
Huh, interesting. So
So
this
so
is like a really huge program.
yeah, it's a huge program which has been going over for generations since 1945. At least, no, since pre 1945.
What? And
Because the founder of the company is a Nazi scientist who defected to USA.
Okay.
So this
Now
is
the whole thing makes full sense now.
so the entire thing is a Nazi super soldier program which this guy developed, but he felt that the tides of the war were changing. Therefore, he defected to the States.
Um,
So the first batch, like the first set, most probably were people who were and started this company, which kind of worked with the government initially.
hmm.
So the first set, like the first superhero, she knew that that was this guy's wife, and she's basically a Nazi.
Oh.
And she's aware that she's aware of the whole thing, but the next consecutive generations are not aware of this program.
Hmm.
Till the Superman standard finds out, and that creates an entire storyline where everyone finds out.
Oh. So
Like,
that aspiring girl who walks into the studio for auditioning, she also finds out.
what, the blonde?
Yeah.
She's like the decent person in the show. She's like the only decent. She's like only one of the few decent people on the show.
Hmm.
I mean, everyone. I say everyone. I mean, literally everyone finds out. The world finds out. And Disney being Disney, they just reframe it as, yes, we've been developing this and we've been keeping it secret because we don't want the bad guys finding out. It's how I put it, they show corporate politics really well.
Hmm.
Like, sure, they exaggerate a bit. Like, oh yeah, like, the extremely controversial Pepsi ad where people are protesting, there are cops over there, then Kendall Jenner goes and gives them a Pepsi. I mean, the cops a Pepsi.
I mean, yeah, maybe I don't remember that one, but I've seen more than one controversial.
I mean, that thing became really controversial because it desensitized the entire police brutality thing. They're like, yeah, give them a Pepsi, they'll be fine. It doesn't work that way. I mean, it's like General just walks in, opens up a Pepsi and gives it to them.
No, if you're gonna go that far, might as well give them a donut as well.
I mean, so the thing is that they make fun of that in the latest episode. It's like people of color are protesting, the cops over there, and then the Flash stand who happens to be black goes there, stops both sides from fighting, and gives the cops an energy drink branded by him.
Oh, so they like parodied that.
Nah, see, everything's a parody. The entire show is a parody. It's a parody wrapped in an extremely violent, overarching story. They parodied that. They parodied the entire the ratings that studios tend to focus on. They parody soulless activism.
Does make sense though, if you have the Bones guy as your main central guy.
See,
even in Star Trek, he does have a way of making things dull when he speaks.
I mean, see, Bones, Dr. Bones is however the character is just rougher on the edges. That's all. He doesn't.
This guy only knows spikes.
Nah, this guy, Billy Butcher. He just his entire strategy is, if there's a problem with superheroes, my solution is we kill them. We kill them. That's a solution. No middle ground.
Yeah.
So what do? We kidnap him, torture him, and then kill him.
Easy peasy.
See, there's a guy whose ability is to turn invisible, and this guy's body hardens, so they shove an explosive up his ass.
Okay.
And both are like, let's kill him, let's immediately kill him, let's blow him up.
I mean, it does make sense. You put an explosive in a confined space, that thing's gonna go. That thing's gonna blow.
I mean, the reason they make it, they do that by starving him. They make sure he doesn't shit out anything.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're trying to keep him alive as long as possible. They use him as bait for someone else, and then they kill him.
Ah, okay.
It's oh yes, and their version of Aquaman's a rapist. There's no easy way of saying it.
Okay.
He's into that, and he's into fish for some reason. You know the entire joke about Aquaman being interested in fish? These guys took it seriously.
I mean, it is a parody, so makes sense.
And the suit is similar to the old Aquaman suit. You know, the gold and green and all that.
Got it.
I mean, it's reached a point where, I'm surprised that, but then again, suing them is like suing parody, so they ain't gonna do that. They introduced their version of Captain America. Who's a fucking idiot. So it goes like this. He's part of a pilot program by the company and the CIA, where these guys go to Nicaragua, and they're shown as fighting communists. They fuck up big time. And because one of them can fly, he goes around flying, gives off their position. They get attacked by local Nicaraguan forces and Russian special forces.
Oh. Yikes.
And their version of Captain America is reportedly killed.
Oh, shit.
But it's later revealed that the Russians captured him, they didn't kill him. So to cover it up, they come up with some bullshit story where he died stopping a nuclear reactor from exploding, something like that.
Okay, but then getting him back? No.
I mean that's the reason they came up with that entire story. I mean, they get him. The CIA Black Ops unit just accidentally comes across him when they're in Russia.
Oh.
I mean, if he comes
He looks at them like, oh, you're here to save me. They're like, what?
No. So it's like a big twist at the end of the episode. I don't know how his reaction was going to be. He's in a metal container for God knows how many. He is Captain America. Shit, he is Captain America. He's been in stasis for this long. They're gonna I think it'll reach a point where they've made fun of everything. Given that, and it seems like they're trying to go closer towards the original story.
Oh, I see.
Like in the original story, the entire CIA Black Ops team is hooked onto that super drug. In this one, till season 3, none of the team takes the drug. In season 3, Bones takes that drugs.
I see.
So it's like, I think they're moving towards the original storyline because they're running out of stuff to make fun of. Okay, and yeah, anyway, I think I should be going to bed. Just saw the time.
Yeah.
It's 2 and I have work tomorrow. Nah, it's not the worst thing I can get up. It's just that, it's 2.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks a lot for listening to me talk, I guess.
Yeah. I think come on, I also had some points.
And I think I'm back to streaming.
Yeah.
Which means I'll be disappearing for another 3 more weeks. Oh, hopefully not. I've called up, I've contacted a couple of people.
You're learning from me now. I'm like that chica meme.
You raised me. I mean, thing is, most probably I have a reason to stream next week, so I will stream. I mean, I've called on a person, I'll just go back to my stand podcast thing.
Yeah, that will be nice.
And and it's, I think about streaming, it's not like I don't have the time, it's like, I just feel so tired all the time these days. I'm quite sure you know how the feeling, right?
Yeah.
You step out, you feel all your energy being just sucked out of you.
Before this, even though I had a really crap sleep schedule, before a few days back, I never got up at after 12.
Yeah, same here. It's like after the heat wave started hitting the place.
It's been weird.
Okay, anyway, thanks a lot. I think I'll end it here. Let's end the stream here. 3, 2, 1, go.